You're not watching this by accident. I summoned you. There's something I need to tell you, and it has to be tonight. Not tomorrow. Not someday. Now. The weight you've been carrying, the silence you've endured, the breakthrough you've begged for, it's all coming to a head in this very moment. This message is not entertainment. It is a divine encounter, a lifeline disguised as a video. Heaven has aligned this exact moment in your timeline because what I'm about to reveal will change everything. Do not pause. Do not scroll. Do not walk away. What I've buried in this message has your name carved into it. If you leave early, you will miss the exact sentence I crafted just for your soul. Stay until the very end, because by the time I finish speaking, everything you thought was over will be standing again. This is the turning point, and it starts tonight. My beloved child, stop everything. Yes, everything. Not just what your hands are doing, but what your mind is racing through and what your heart is burdened by. I have set this exact second apart, marked it on the blueprint of eternity, and carved your name into its unfolding. Tonight, beloved, is not just a page on the calendar. It is the fulfillment of a divine crescendo that has been building in silence, in shadows, in the places you thought were forgotten. I did not permit this urgency in your spirit to arise from nowhere. That stirring you feel, the holy pressure against your chest, that quickened beat in the center of your being, that is me. I have wrapped this moment in revelation, saturated it with glory, and dressed it in the fragrance of promise. The heavens have leaned low. The angelic realm is alert. And I, the Lord your God, am stepping forward to declare this in no uncertain terms. The clock of heaven has struck, and what I ordained long ago is now being released into your timeline. Not tomorrow, not eventually, but tonight. You've carried hope like a flickering candle through a storm, protecting it from winds that howled through your seasons. I saw you. I watched every trembling step you took when faith felt like folly and hope seemed like delusion. And still, you held on. Not always loudly, not always confidently, but sincerely. Your heart, though wearied by delay, never closed its door to me. And because you remained open, because you did not allow cynicism to calcify your faith, you are now standing in the space between promise spoken and promise performed. Do you feel the shift? Do you sense the acceleration in your atmosphere? It's not a coincidence. It's not feeling. It's divine evidence. For too long, your heart had been postured in waiting. But now, I am posturing you for receiving. I did not call you here to tease you with potential or dangle breakthrough just out of reach. I called you here to deliver, to perform, to establish, to fulfill. Heaven has moved, beloved, and I have not sent a messenger. I have come myself, in the stillness of this message, in the breath between your thoughts, in the hush of your surrender, to say, the moment has come, and what I have set into motion tonight cannot be reversed. My beloved child, you've been trying to put words to this feeling, this stirring deep inside your chest, this pressure that refuses to be quiet, this ache that doesn't come from sorrow but from something divine pressing in. And you've wondered, is this anxiety? Is it my imagination? No, it's me. It's always been me. That trembling you feel is not panic. It is presence. It is heaven brushing up against your reality. It is the divine colliding with the natural. It is eternity knocking on the door of your timeline, whispering, "Are you ready?" And I am here to tell you, tonight is not the echo of a someday dream. Tonight is not symbolic. It is sacred. What you feel inside your spirit is the weight of my glory descending like thick oil, ready to anoint you for what's coming. The atmosphere around you has already shifted, and the air you breathe is no longer ordinary. It hath been kissed by destiny and wrapped in divine electricity. You are standing in the tremble of a tipping point. That's why your soul can't sit still. That's why everything feels amplified. Because I have entered your atmosphere, not to observe but to initiate. Do you understand what that means? I'm not speaking from a distance. I'm not writing to you through angels or whispers or riddles. I am here. I have stepped into the room where you sit. I'm closer than your breath, deeper than your thoughts, more tangible than the screen you're reading from. I am speaking from the center of your being, and my voice, though wrapped in stillness, carries weight, holy weight, the kind of weight that breaks chains in silence, the kind of presence that undoes years of lies with a single phrase. And here is what I am saying. I am stirring you because I have positioned you. You are not where you are by mistake. The discomfort you felt lately, the tension that's been quietly tightening like a string pulled taut, it's not stress. It's preparation. It's the divine discomfort that comes right before breakthrough births. You're in spiritual labor, child. The contraction of all you've waited for is tightening. And the reason it feels like you're about to break is because what I planted in you is about to be born. This is not pressure for the sake of pain. This is pressure because promise is pushing. And I cannot let you sleep through what I've been crafting for this very hour. You've endured enough delays. You've paid the price in silence. You've walked through fire without applause. Now it's time. Heaven is thundering in your favor. And tonight, yes, tonight, everything begins to move. Don't mistake my stillness for inactivity. Don't confuse my silence for absence. I've been speaking in the pressure. I've been shaping your perception through the quiet. What you've called confusion was actually calibration. I was realigning your internal compass, tuning your ears to detect my frequency, even in the dark. You thought you were stuck, but you were being stationed, positioned like an arrow pulled back in tension, because the release I'm sending you into requires divine velocity. Child, I didn't forget what I promised you. I didn't shelf your prayers. I was simply waiting until your capacity caught up with your calling. And now it has. That's why the stirring is so strong. That's why peace feels both close and strange. Because the old wineskin of your past season is cracking. The new cannot be poured into the old. So I'm shaking loose every belief, every habit, every comfort you built during your survival season. You're not in survival anymore. You're in surge. And what I'm sending tonight won't fit the smallness of your former expectations. The river is rising. The oil is flowing. The angels are moving. And you, yes, you, are in the center of the surge. Let this be your sacred confirmation. You're not imagining this. You're not making this up. You're not too emotional. You're wave. You're finally sensitive enough to feel the pulse of heaven again. And I'm speaking with full force now because your window is opening. This is not the hour to shrink back or scroll past. This is the moment to open, to lean in, to say, yes, Lord, I feel you. Because what I'm about to release into your life tonight will knock twice. You won't have to chase it, earn it, or strive for it. You'll simply have to receive it. But I need your heart to stay still. I need your soul to remain open. I need your attention undivided, like Mary at my feet, unbothered by distractions. Because this moment isn't just a blessing. It's an appointment. And appointments with heaven come with alignment. That's what this stirring is. It's the sound of alignment clicking into place. You've heard the rumble in your soul. Now feel the click of divine precision. It's tonight. And it's me. Child, hear me now with your whole heart. What stood in your way is already falling. The walls that loomed over your prayers like giants, the closed doors that made you feel forgotten, the barriers that whispered not for you, they are crumbling. One by one, they are bowing to my command. You haven't even seen it yet, but the victory has already been initiated. Why? Because the breaker has gone before you. Yes, I, your God, the one who parts seas and crushes mountains, I've stepped ahead into your battle. You will not fight alone, and in many ways, you won't even need to fight. Because I am not just walking with you, I'm clearing the path. I've sent my spirit as fire before you, my word is wind behind you, and my favor is a shield that no enemy can penetrate. I told you this night would carry weight. I told you this moment was sacred, and I'm here to tell you that it has already begun. A shift isn't coming. It's not approaching. It has started. Even now, as you read these words, things in the unseen are being overturned. Laws are being reversed. Chains are dissolving. Contracts are being rewritten in your favor. Relationships are being restored. And doors you never thought you'd walk through are unlocking, not slowly, but suddenly. You've been in a long hallway of almosts. The kind of season where you could see the promise, but couldn't touch it. Where breakthrough felt so close it burned your fingertips, yet still stayed just out of reach. But hear me now, the hallway is ending, and the door that once mocked you with its silence is now swinging wide. This is the part they don't tell you about breakthrough, that it's not always loud. Sometimes it comes in a whisper that opens worlds. Sometimes the biggest shifts happen without warning, like an earthquake in the spirit, a midnight miracle, a moment when nothing looks different, and yet everything is. That's the kind of night you're standing in. A suddenly kind of night. A holy reversal. And it has nothing to do with your perfection, and everything to do with your posture. Because you stayed low, I am lifting you high. Because you kept trusting with tired hands, I am releasing with mighty hands. And not one enemy will be able to claim credit for what I'm doing. Not one voice will steal the glory. I will brand this night with my fingerprints and make it undeniable. Let the skeptics watch. Let the doubters lean in. Because what I'm about to unfold in your life will silence every lie spoken over you. I don't just give blessing, I give evidence. The kind that can't be denied or debated. The kind that shifts rooms when you enter. And this time, you won't have to strive for it. You won't have to explain yourself. I will speak through demonstration. I will vindicate you with visible fruit. I will honor your obedience in ways that ripple through generations. And yes, child, it begins tonight. This isn't reward. This is revelation. This is me pulling back the curtain, unveiling what I've been building in silence. And here's the truth. The enemy knew this was coming. That's why the warfare increased. That's why confusion thickened. That's why discouragement whispered louder in recent days. Because hell knows what you're about to step into. But it's too late. The breaker has already gone ahead. And the only thing left for you to do now is follow my lead. I've lit the path. I've torn the veil. I've broken the barrier. And I'll walk through it. Tonight. Not someday. Now. My beloved child, let me be absolutely clear. What you're feeling right now isn't just emotion. It's not just spiritual adrenaline. And it certainly isn't wishful thinking. This is a divine announcement. Heaven has not just whispered your name in the dark. It has declared it in the courts of glory. What I am doing tonight is not vague, nor symbolic, nor delayed. It is exact. It is deliberate. It is decisive. And child, the urgency you feel pulsing through your spirit right now, that holy throb deep in your chest, is my voice shaking the walls of everything that tried to contain you. Don't call it a vibe. Don't reduce it to just a moment. This is a manifestation. I am unveiling what I've been working on behind the veil, and your soul knows it even before your senses do. That strange tension between peace and trembling. That's the collision point. That's where promise meets performance. That's where your someday becomes now. You are not teetering on the edge of possibility. You are standing on the brink of prophesied inevitability. I didn't come to comfort your delay. I came to confront it. And when I show up in a room like this, everything has to shift. You've waited for this without realizing you were waiting. You thought you were just surviving, just pressing through, just existing. But in the spiritual realm, you were posturing. You were aligning. You were saying yes with every broken prayer and every quiet act of obedience. You didn't need to shout to get my attention. Your stillness was louder than thunder. And now, I've heard the echo of your endurance. I've seen your midnight sacrifices. I've recorded the tears you wiped away before anyone noticed. And tonight, heaven responds. Not with noise, but with notice. I'm giving you a divine spotlight that no one can dim. I'm turning the invisible into undeniable. You thought I was distant. But what you didn't realize is that I was near in strategy, not silence. I was watching the moment, measuring your readiness, preparing the orchestration, and now the conductor has raised his hand. The symphony of release is playing over your life. Every note hath been written with precision. Every crescendo is intentional, and I didn't miss a beat. The night is the unveiling of divine timing. Let them talk. Let them wonder. Let them ask how it happened so suddenly. But you will know, child. You will know. You'll remember this moment. You'll replay these words, because they won't just be encouragement. They will be evidence. Evidence that I never forgot you. Evidence that I was writing the ending while you were living in the middle. This is the kind of night that rewrites history, your history. This is the kind of moment that doesn't leave quietly. It leaves a trail of testimonies, and no one will be able to take credit for it. Not your job, not your contacts, not your charisma, not your hustle. It will have my fingerprints all over it. The alignment will be too perfect, the provision too precise, the restoration too powerful. I'm not just answering one prayer. I'm answering the spirit behind your prayers. The cries you couldn't put into words. The ache behind the silence. The agony you thought no one saw. I saw it all. And I have waited until now, until tonight, to step into your moment with such divine clarity that nothing around you will remain untouched. And hear me now, because I'm not just speaking to your hope. I'm speaking to your doubt. Yes, that little voice in the back of your mind still whispering, what if this isn't it? What if nothing changes? Let me silence it with one sentence. I do not speak unless I intend to move. I do not knock unless a door is about to open. And I did not choose this moment to play games with your heart. I chose it because it is the fullness of time. Not a second early. Not a minute late. You've entered a holy intersection between your past obedience and my present outpouring. And I want you to feel it. I want you to breathe it in. Because the rest of your life will be traced back to this moment. The shift is now. The glory is thick. The door is opening. It's not a feeling. It's a divine announcement. And it has your name on it. My dear, do not let your thoughts wander into the land of regret. Do not replay the reel of what ifs and I should have known. For I tell you with the full authority of heaven, you did not miss it. The blessing was not lost. The moment was not stolen. The promise was not bypassed. I was never preparing you for loss. I was preparing you for longevity. I wasn't holding it from you. I was holding it for you. Every delay had design. Every silence had strategy. Every closed door was a curtain drawn around something too holy to be exposed prematurely. You thought you were being denied, but child, you were being divinely preserved. I was not testing your ability to wait. I was stretching your ability to carry. Because what I'm releasing tonight isn't fragile. It's fortified. It's been in the oven of heaven, baking beneath layers of glory, rising beyond what you asked for, and now it is ready. And so are you. You see, preservation feels like punishment when you don't understand the purpose. But I was never punishing you. I was protecting the promise. There were people you were connected to back then who could not be trusted with what I was preparing. Environments you were still in that would have poisoned the roots of what I'm now allowing to bloom. And so I allowed things to fall away, not to leave you empty, but to leave you safe. The space you mistook as barren was actually sacred ground. Ground I was tilling beneath the surface. Ground I was planting in silence. You didn't see the movement. But that's because I wasn't moving around you. I was moving within you. And the reason it's happening now, the reason tonight carries such unbearable weight, is because the atmosphere has finally caught up with what I've been cultivating in your spirit for years. I'm not just releasing a miracle tonight. I'm redeeming a timeline. I'm collapsing the gap between your waiting and your wondering. This isn't random. This is restoration. And it will come suddenly. It will come with speed. But make no mistake, this suddenness hath been in the making for a long, long time. Every no I gave you was part of this yes. Every closed door was guarding this open one. And now that I have cleared the stage, now that your heart has matured and your ears can hear without interference, I'm opening the vault. Yes, the vault. Because what I stored for you wasn't a leftover blessing. It was a masterpiece, a mosaic made of every broken piece you surrendered to me in prayer. And when others said you were passed over, I was whispering, just wait. Child, not yet but soon. And now soon has become now. Not next week. Not next year. Deny. So silence the shame. Cancel the countdown. Rip up the resignation letter you wrote in your heart when it seemed like the doors would never open. This night is proof that your story is not ending in confusion. It's erupting in clarity. I've preserved what matters most. And I'm releasing it not in pieces, but in power. The kind that will leave you breathless. The kind that will make you say, this could only be God. You didn't miss it. You were being marked by it. And tonight, child, tonight is its arrival. Child, listen. I say this with finality, with sacred thunder wrapped in gentle breath. The delay is over. You've been watching the seconds tick by like echoes in an empty hallway, wondering when your name would rise from the silence, when your sacrifice would meet its moment. And tonight, I say to you with undeniable authority, the seal has broken. The command has been given. What was held back is now breaking forward. Not solely, not eventually, but suddenly. There are realms that had to wait. Portals that could not open without my voice. Angels that remained stationed until I gave the word. And I've given it. I've spoken it into the corridors of heaven and into the fabric of your timeline. It is time. The moment your spirit has been trembling for, the moment your heart didn't dare fully imagine, has arrived. You see, delay is not denial. Delay is not disinterest. Delay is a curtain, a veil, a divine seal that holds until the weight of the moment can be carried by the vessel I'm entrusting it to. And that vessel is you. Do you understand the magnitude of this? I wasn't protecting your gift from people. I was protecting you from the crushing weight of premature exposure. Had I released it too early, the blessing would have burned you. The promise would have fractured under untested foundations. But I held it, like a jeweler holding a rare stone, until it could be placed in the setting of purpose and stability. And now, child, now, the setting is secure. The season is sealed. The delivery is dispatched. The blessing is no longer in waiting. It is in motion. I know you've grown weary. I know the stillness began to feel suffocating. The silence stretched so long that you wondered if I'd moved on. You even questioned whether your prayers had gotten lost in the noise of others' victories. But I tell you this, not one word you uttered was wasted. Not one tear went unnoticed. Your waiting wasn't empty. It was pregnant. Every second was storing power. Every minute was holding revelation. Every hour was preparing impact. And now, it's due. The womb of your spirit is contracting. Not in death, not in panic, but in birth. And what I'm birthing in you tonight cannot be reversed. The seal is broken. The scroll is unrolled. The door is open. And no one can close what I've decided to deliver. Not your past, not your fears, not even your doubts. My decision is final, and it is for you. So lift your eyes, not in fear, not in striving, but in readiness. The kind of readiness that knows something sacred is crossing the threshold. You'll begin to sense it. Unusual peace, sudden clarity, conversations laced with divine timing, unexpected doors that open without explanation. Don't dismiss these things as coincidence. They are confirmation. They are proof that the delay has ended. You are no longer waiting. You are wading into manifestation. And child, hear this last word. You didn't miss the moment. You are the moment. And heaven is rising to meet you. Child, lean in close. His part is sacred. His part is personal. What I'm about to do, tonight, will carry such precision, such divine alignment, such breathtaking impact that no one will be able to explain it away. Not even you. And that is intentional. I have orchestrated this moment so that no man, no system, no connection, no formula will be able to claim, we made this happen. Because this isn't the fruit of networking. It's the result of nearness. Nearness to me. You did earn this through perfection. You postured yourself in surrender. You didn't scheme your way here. You stayed. And that's why this moment will not carry the fingerprints of man. It will carry mine. Do you know what happens when I touch something? It becomes untouchable by anyone else. I am not just releasing breakthrough. I am branding it with my signature. I am putting a seal on this season that reads, by my spirit alone. A platform that's coming. A favor that's flooding. A restoration that's rushing in. It's not a gift for performance. It's a reward for persistence. For the nights you prayed when no one was listening. For the hours you wept when the lights were off and no spotlight was on you. For the moments you served while others soared, and you remained in the shadow. But I saw you. And child, I kept the records. I counted the tears like currency. I measured the heart behind every hidden yes. And now I'm responding with evidence so undeniable, so unexpected, so God-ordained, that it will shut the mouths of every lie and silence every false narrative spoken over your life. And hear this: no one will be able to manipulate this. I've closed the loopholes. I've ride the mows. I've sifted the voices. What I'm doing for you tonight will be traced only back to me. It won't be the result of strategy. It will be a sign that says, "This is my doing, and it is marvelous in your eyes." And yes, it will be marvelous. You'll look at what unfolds and be wrecked in awe. You'll cry not from pain, but from power. You'll laugh not from relief, but from revelation. You'll stand in rooms you didn't apply for, speak in places you didn't campaign for, and hold blessings you never knew how to ask for, because you didn't arrive through popularity. You arrived through posture. So don't worry about proving anything. You won't need to explain how you got here. I will show them through you. I will cause your life to preach louder than your words. And the ones who watched you suffer in silence will watch you soar in grace. But the glory won't go to you. It will land on your shoulders. It will ascend like incense to me, because that's how I designed it. This is my move, my miracle, my moment. And I chose you as the vessel, not for applause, not for performance, but for glory. And my glory doesn't rest on crowns. It rests on consecration. Child, the world is about to witness something they cannot explain, because I'm doing it in such a way that even your enemies will say, "This had to be God." And they'll be right. Is me. And I'm not done. My beloved child, look around, not with natural eyes, but with the clarity of discernment I've been building inside you. Can you feel it yet? The atmosphere is laced with signs, and the timing is too exact to ignore. This isn't happenstance. This isn't a streak of luck. This is divine orchestration. You've walked into a space where the lines are aligning, the voices are converging, and even the disruptions now reveal design. This alignment, this sudden convergence of timing, people, places, and impressions, is too precise to be a coincidence. You didn't stumble into this hour. You were summoned into it. This isn't randomness. This is revelation. It is my hand at work, subtle but sovereign, quiet but commanding, moving every piece into place with clockwork accuracy. Every Canadian, every delay, every heartbreak, every redirection, even your hesitations have been woven into the tapestry of this holy moment. I want you to understand something deeper. What you call detours were actually deliveries. Yes, even the events that felt like setbacks were sacred setups. I rerouted you, not to frustrate you, but to position you. If I had allowed you to stay where you were, to remain in that season, to cling to those people, you would have missed the magnitude of what is unfolding tonight. You weren't being blocked. You were being built. I had to realign the entire landscape to make sure that what I stored for you would land in the right heart, at the right moment, under the right covering. This is what you feel now, a holy convergence. Not just movement, but movement with meaning. Not just progress, but prophetic placement. Everything is clicking into place, not in chaos, but in choreography. And child, hear me, you are not behind. You are right on time. You are not misplaced. You are divinely stationed. And I have not misplaced a single detail concerning you. Now you understand why the warfare intensified, why your emotions were under assault, why confusion tried to blur your vision. Because the enemy knew what was approaching. He sensed the alignment forming before you saw it. And in panic, he tried to disrupt what he could not control. But it failed. It always fails when my will is unfolding. And child, My will is unfolding now. I did not create this alignment for public performance. I created it for personal fulfillment. What is about to rise in your life will carry my precision in every detail. Even the things that feel like small confirmations, that perfectly timed message, that unexpected encounter, that deep breath of peace out of nowhere, they are all part of the orchestration. They are not random. They are reverberations of what I've set in motion. So stop doubting. Stop second-guessing. Don't shrink beneath the magnitude of this. The alignment is too perfect for you to write it off as chance. It's strategic. It's divine. It's happening right now, not just around you, but for you and through you. I am showing you how heaven works, not with confusion, but with clarity, not with pressure, but with peace, not with human deadlines, but with eternal direction. And you, child, are in the center of it. This alignment has your name on it. This orchestration bears your signature. And as surely as the stars find their place in the sky, so too has your destiny found its moment. It is here. It is now. But it is no coincidence. My child, listen with your spirit wide open. What I am giving you tonight cannot be transferred. This is not a generic blessing. This is not a mass distribution. This is a custom-crafted, divinely sealed, heaven-authored release for you alone. I didn't copy-paste this from someone else's promise. I carved this from the marrow of your journey, your pain, your faith, and your obedience. What I'm placing in your life tonight was forged in the furnace of your specific trials and shaped in the silence of your most surrendered nights. It fits only your fingerprint. That's why others couldn't carry it for you. That's why what seemed to work for them didn't work for you. Because I wasn't building what was common. I was crafting what was consecrated. And tonight, the consecrated portion is arriving. You wondered why others seemed to run ahead while you stood still. Why you felt tethered while they soared. But child, I wasn't punishing you. I was preserving what was uniquely yours. I couldn't let you duplicate what wasn't designed for you. I had to protect your lane, your path, your spiritual DNA. Because what I'm unfolding now carries generational weight. And I don't give generational assignments to hearts addicted to comparison. I had to purify you in the hidden place. I had to make sure your soul would not forfeit the unique scroll written for your life. And child, you passed the test. You stayed. You obeyed. You endured. And because of that, I'm handing you something that no one else could wear, no one else could hold, no one else could steward. This is not a borrowed mantle. It's a mantle that bears the weight of your private tears and the fragrance of your secret yes. It's been embroidered with threads of prayers that no one else heard, trimmed with decisions only I saw, soaked in worship that rose from rooms where you felt forgotten. But I didn't forget. I kept the record. I wrote your name on the package. And tonight, that package arrives. Delivered not by human hands, but by heaven's own authority. And it cannot be stolen. It cannot be shared. It cannot be diluted. It is yours, child. And when it lands, it will fit you so perfectly that people will assume it always belonged there. But you'll know. You'll remember what it cost. You'll recall the wilderness, the wrestling, the lonely obedience. And you'll understand, this isn't reward for performance. This is recognition of trust. I'm not giving you another piece. I'm unveiling the masterpiece. And it was never designed to be duplicated. So stop comparing. Stop wondering if you missed out on someone else's portion. You didn't miss anything. In fact, I've preserved something no one else could carry, because no one else was you. Let the truth hit you like holy fire. Let it restore your confidence, not in your own ability, but in my strategy. This night is not just a shift. It is a sacred exchange. And what I am placing in your hands will not be explained by logic. It will be confirmed by fruit. Fruit that only you can bear. And child, it begins tonight. Tomorrow. Now, child, hush the noise inside your soul. Lay down your tools, your strategies, your mental rehearsals. This is not a moment for performance. This is not an hour for hustle. Tonight isn't about striving. It's about receiving. You don't need to fix it. You don't need to fight for it. You don't need to earn what I'm releasing. This is not a reward for effort. It is a release of grace. My movement is not triggered by your perfection. It's activated by your posture. And your posture, right now, is enough. I'm not waiting for you to get everything right. I'm waiting for you to get still. Still enough to hear me. Quiet enough to let me pour. Open enough to receive without trying to measure or manage or manipulate what's coming. You've tried to hold everything together for so long that you started believing you are the source. But child, you are not the source. You are the vessel. And vessels don't strive. They receive. Let me say this clearly. I'm not impressed by striving. I'm moved by surrender. And when I say surrender, I don't mean giving up. I mean giving over. The release I've appointed for tonight is not dependent on your ability to force things open. It flows from your willingness to let go, to unclench your fists, to stop trying to script what only I can sovereignly orchestrate. There are moments in life when striving is appropriate, when pushing through brings fruit. But not this moment. Tonight is not about movement from you. It's about movement toward you. I'm the one approaching. I'm the one acting. I'm the one drawing near with holy fire and irreversible favor. Your only job tonight is to breathe in my nearness. No posturing. No proving. Just presence. Just me and you. And yes, I know what you're thinking, but Lord, am I really ready? You're more ready than you realize. Not because of what you've accomplished, but because of how you've been aligned. Your alignment is what gives me access. Not your accolades. Not your control. But your yielding. And tonight, I am looking for vessels, not warriors, not fighters, not performers. Just children who will lift their hands in reverent stillness and say, I receive. Because what I am doing now is not fragile. It's final. It's not probationary. It's prophetic. I don't need your resume. I already have your record. I've seen your heart behind the scenes. I've seen the obedience that didn't make it to the stage. And that's what gives me pleasure. You stayed sovereign. You remained surrendered. You obeyed when no applause came. And because of that, you are postured for overflow. So child, stop striving. Stop calculating. Stop grasping. Receive. Let me be the one who carries this. Let me be the one who fights this. Let me be the one who finishes what I started. You don't need to carry this promise like a burden. You were never meant to lift it with effort. You are meant to birth it in trust. The river I'm releasing cannot be touched by striving. It can only be stepped into by stillness. So take off your shoes, you're on holy ground now. Breathe, open your hands, and allow me to do what only I can do. This is not a test. This is not a trial. This is delivery. And it is not coming through your effort. It is arriving by my spirit. A night is sacred not because of what you do, but because of what I'm doing. And I'm doing more than you imagined. Beloved, you've wondered if your quiet yes even mattered. Those moments when you chose me over convenience. When you held your tongue instead of retaliating. When you gave without being asked. When you prayed without being seen. When you obeyed without any reward in sight. Those moments, yes, every single one, have reached my throne. Not one act of hidden obedience hath been overlooked. They were not invisible to me. They were incense. Sweet, fragrant, holy incense that filled my courts with the scent of your devotion. The world did not applaud it. You didn't get praise or platforms for it. But child, I have been watching. And tonight, I want you to know, your obedience has been heard in heaven. And not just heard, it has moved me. You see, what moves me isn't loud. It isn't showy. It's loyal. It's quiet obedience in the dark. It's when you continue to trust me when no one is clapping, when no one is posting, when no one even knows. It's when you choose integrity over image, when you pick surrender over strategy. That's when I lean in. That's when I whisper, there. That's my child. And you, my beloved, have been a living echo of that loyalty. You may not have felt holy. You may not have felt powerful. But the most powerful people in my kingdom are not the loudest. They are the ones who obey when it hurts. You've walked through fires with no audience. You've worshipped through warfare with no validation. And still, you stayed. Still, you obeyed. Still, you said, yes, Lord. And tonight, heaven responds. There are books in heaven that record every hidden act. Every time you loved when you could have left. Every time you blessed when you could have broken. Every time you stood when it would have been easier to sit in bitterness. And I tell you this, those books have been opened. Your name is written in faithfulness. Your legacy is not built on loudness. It is built on loyalty. And loyalty is currency in my kingdom. You didn't barter with me. You didn't demand your way. You just said yes. Again and again. And now, child, I am rewarding that yes. Not in small ways. Not in subtle ways. But in supernatural ones. Your harvest has come. Not because you chased it, but because you chose me. So don't let the enemy make you second guess the season you're stepping into. You didn't manipulate this. You didn't hustle for this. You obeyed for this. That's what makes this so holy. Because when others look at the blessing and wonder how it came, you will know it came through the quiet yes. And that yes has thundered in my ears. Your hidden obedience is not hidden anymore. I'm putting light on what was done in the shadows. I'm exalting what was born in humility. Because I exalt the humble. And you, child, have lived low enough to rise with my hand, not yours. The time of sowing is finished. Tonight begins the reaping. Heaven has not just noticed, it has responded. And the reward is rushing. Child, I know you've been living in a season of subtle signs, glimpses, whispers, soft echoes of my voice. You've held on to little confirmations like lifelines in a storm, catching breath from breadcrumbs of grace. And while others celebrated loud answers, you were learning how to cherish holy hints. You saw me in flickers, in a random burst, in an unexpected text, in a tear that fell at just the right moment. But that was preparation. It was never meant to be the whole picture. And I say to you now with thunder behind my tenderness, I'm not sending hints anymore. I'm releasing evidence. Yes, a child, it's time. The moment has arrived for the almost to become the already. I've watched you walk by faith through the fog. I've watched you trust me in the tension. I seen you praise me for whispers while others held wonders. But tonight, the balance shifts. Heaven is moving from concealment to confirmation. I am no longer dropping signals. I am delivering substance. Not symbols. Not shadows. Substance. Real, undeniable, unshakable evidence that I have been orchestrating every step. You won't need to guess anymore. You won't need to second-guess my nearness or reread every situation to find a hidden clue. I'm coming in loud. I'm stepping into your reality with tangible, touchable, traceable proof. What's coming won't require spiritual decoding. It won't be wrapped in metaphor or hidden in parable. It will be clear as daybreak after a night of thunder, as obvious as a parted sea, as personal as a name spoken in a crowd. You've lived in the wilderness of subtlety long enough. Now, I'm flooding your life with unmistakable fulfillment. You'll look at the open doors and say, "There's no way this could have happened unless God did it." And you will be right, because I am stripping every outcome of coincidence. I'm vacuuming the room of all doubt, and what remains will be holy, undeniable, and undivided in glory. No person, no platform, no past will be able to take credit for what I do next. And you won't feel confused about whether this was me. You will know. You will see. This evidence won't just be external. It will flood your internal world. I am giving you clarity of mind, confirmation in your spirit, and peace that no longer needs to be propped up by signs. You'll still recognize my voice in the little things, but you won't need crumbs to believe anymore. I'm putting the feast in front of you. The harvest is not hidden. It is here. The season of surviving on signals is over. You're about to walk in such visible blessing that even your enemies will pause and whisper, "God is with them." So lean into this moment, because what I'm doing now will be the kind of proof that needs no explanation. It will speak for itself. Child, as the heavens move on your behalf tonight, I ask you to move with me. There are souls waiting on the edge of despair, hearts aching for a word that reminds them they are seen. Your giving becomes a river of oil, flowing from this moment into places you will never walk, reaching lives you will never meet, but I know every name. As it is written, "Give, and it shall be given unto you." Pressed down, shaken together, and running over, and I, the Lord, will make sure it overflows back into your life. When you sow into this message, you are not tipping a speaker. You are partnering with heaven's broadcast. I have given you the power to fuel this fire, to send my word further, faster, deeper. This is not charity. It's covenant. Go now. Troll below. Release what I've placed in your hand. Tonight, let your seed carry my voice to the nations. My beloved, come closer, closer still, for what I'm about to tell you is not just sacred, it is strategic. You've been looking ahead, trying to calculate the next step, wondering how things will fall into place, preparing yourself to fight through whatever resistance may come. But hear me now. You won't be walking into this next season alone. I've already sent the angel ahead of you. Yes, ahead. Not beside, not behind, but in front. Clearing what you can't see. Confronting what you can't fight. Making smooth what looks impossible. There are victories being won right now in dimensions beyond your sight. You are not walking into uncertainty. You are walking into a space that's been spiritually prepared. That unease you've been feeling. That weight that presses on your chest when you think about the future. It's not fear. It's discernment. It's your spirit detecting the movement of angelic armies reshaping your atmosphere. Because I did not call you to battle in your own strength. I called you to partner with heaven. and heaven is moving in your favor. There are realms you never enter, conversations you've never heard, rooms you've never been in, and yet I have already entered them for you. Your angel has walked those halls, has stood beside decision makers, has whispered to hearts, has opened locks you didn't even know existed. You think you're just now approaching the opportunity, but child, it's been prepped and primed long before you arrive. I don't release angels casually. I dispatch them on assignment. And the one I've sent before you is not a passive observer. This angel is carrying a mandate, a sword, a blueprint, a covering. This is the kind of angel who doesn't retreat. It reshapes. It doesn't wait for permission. It executes my will. And my will, child, is for your good. My will is for breakthrough, not breakdown. For victory, not delay. And this angel has been sent with authority, not to protect a hope, but to usher in fulfillment. This is why the resistance has felt so fierce. Because hell always senses when angels are on assignment. The closer your manifestation, the louder the warfare. But don't be deceived. The noise is not proof of defeat. It's proof of nearness. You are walking into something weighty, something holy, something prepared. And it's not happening by chance. It's happening by command. I gave the word, and the angel moved. And now, child, it's your turn to walk forward. Not in fear, not in confusion, but in confidence that where you step, the ground has already been cleared. Where you speak, the atmosphere has already been softened. Where you stand, the soil has already been saturated with favor. You are not the first to arrive. Your angel went ahead of you. And tonight, the space you feared is about to feel like home. Because I made it for you. That heaven is good. Child, I need you to understand what's really happening right now. I know it's felt heavy. I know the stretch has reached its edge. I've seen the way your thoughts spiral late at night, whispering, "Is this another test?" But no, child, this is not a test. This is a trust. Let those words settle into the soil of your soul. You're not being tested. You're being trusted. There's a difference. Testing examines potential. Trust releases power. Testing checks readiness. Trust confirms authority. I'm not scrutinizing you. I'm entrusting you. I have seen enough. I have weighed your heart, measured your motives, and watched your private sacrifices. You don't need to prove yourself anymore. You've already been proven. That's why this moment carries so much weight. Because I am giving you access, not as a student under evaluation, but as a steward under empowerment. Let me tell you something sacred. I don't trust lightly. I don't place divine assignments into empty hands. I don't release weighty mantles into immature spirits. But you, child, you have allowed me to shape you when it wasn't glamorous. You have let me prune you when it was painful. You've endured seasons of contradiction and chosen holiness over hype. And because of that, I can trust you with more. Not just more visibility. Not just more blessing. But more authority. The kind of spiritual authority that shifts rooms before you speak. That alters bloodlines. That breaks chains quietly and leaves glory in its wake. The kind of trust that is dangerous to the enemy, because he knows, once I release it, it cannot be revoked. This is why the opposition has intensified. Hell doesn't fight what's unthreatening. It only wars against what has been verified by heaven. You were not overlooked, child. You were observed. You were not passed by, you were preserved. The silence you endured wasn't abandonment, It was alignment. You weren't in a wilderness of punishment. You were in a wilderness of preparation. You didn't fail. You formed. And now, this trust, this weight I'm placing on your life, it comes with responsibility, yes, but it also comes with resources, with angelic backing, with prophetic flow, with supernatural stamina. You will not carry this alone. I'm not giving you the mantle and walking away. I'm walking with you inside of it. I'm placing my breath in your lungs and my roar in your voice. The next time you step into a room, you'll feel it. A shift, a gravity, the divine knowing that something on your life is no longer in hiding. You're not being tested anymore. You're trusted. And when heaven trusts, it delivers. So walk differently. Think differently. Pray differently. You're not petitioning from a place of permission. You are declaring from a place of placement. Your seat is secure. Your scroll has been unsealed. And your assignment, though heavy, is holy. You don't have to ask me if I'm with you. I'm the one who placed the weight on your shoulders. And I did not do it to crush you. I did it because I knew you could carry glory without using it for gain. I knew you would protect my presence, not pimp it for attention. That's why you're here now. That's why this moment matters. Because what I'm releasing is reserved for the ones I trust. And child, I trust you. Child, you don't know this yet. Not fully, but I've already gone before you. And I don't just mean spiritually. I mean literally. I've already walked into the places you've been praying about. I've entered rooms where your feet haven't yet arrived, and I've done something sacred. I spoke your name. Yes, a child. While you were wondering how you'd ever be seen, ever be chosen, ever be understood, I was whispering your name into the ears of decision makers, gatekeepers, destiny holders. I didn't need you to be present. I needed you to be positioned. And now that your posture has aligned with your calling, those who never knew you will recognize you. Not by resume, not by referral, but by revelation. Let me show you something holy. Your name has become a sound in heaven. Not just a label, but a frequency. A vibration of faith, of resilience, of worship, of unshakable trust. And now, that frequency has reached the earth. It's echoing into conversations, entering meetings, being placed on hearts and tongues. This is not strategy. This is divine sponsorship. When I back you, doors open without knocking. When I endorse you, favor flows without friction. You've tried to stay humble. You've said, God, if no one ever sees me, I'll still obey. And I saw that. I recorded that. And now, child, I am raising you, not through striving, but through my voice. When I speak your name, no man can silence it. No gate can close against it. No room can resist it. You don't need to campaign for what I've already commanded. You don't need to network your way into what I've already nurtured. There is a seat, prepared with your name engraved in light. And the room you're about to enter, it's not just an opportunity. It's an appointment. I didn't just whisper your name into thin air. I spoke it into destiny. I embedded it in the blueprints. I align the hearts of those you're about to meet so that when you arrive, there will be instant recognition. They will not understand why they feel drawn to you. What you will. Because you will know, my voice went ahead. My hand carved the way. My favor did the groundwork. To walk in with confidence. Not arrogance. Not self-promotion. But holy certainty. Because your name has already been mentioned. Your name has already been marked. And your future, The very room you've longed to enter has already been invaded by my spirit. You will not have to convince anyone to see you. They've already felt the pull. You will not have to demand a place. I've already prepared it. Your name, child, spoken by me, sealed by me, sent by me, is your key. And the key unlocks what no man can shut. Get ready. Because what's waiting on the other side of that door isn't just favor, it's fulfillment. And it begins tonight. Child, I know the warfare has been relentless. I know the battle has felt brutal and lately, even personal. You've been asking, why now, Lord? Why does everything seem to be unraveling right as I was starting to hope again? And I need you to hear me clearly, not with panic, but with purpose. The warfare was not random. It was revelation. It was proof that the prophetic fulfillment was getting dangerously close. Darkness doesn't waste its energy on barren places. Hell doesn't rage where heaven isn't moving. The enemy ramped up the resistance because he sensed what you couldn't fully see. You were on the cusp of manifestation. Let me say it plainly, your struggle was never about your weakness. It was always about your womb. The enemy detected that you were pregnant with something sacred. He saw the signs. He heard the stirring. He noticed the shift in the spirit before you did. And so he launched distractions, emotional ambushes, spiritual confusion, physical fatigue, anything to wear you down before the water broke. But child, hear me. He failed. The warfare, as fierce as it felt, could not touch the integrity of what I planted in you. You were kept even when you felt cry. You were shielded even while you wept. Because what was forming inside you was too precious to abort. And now, with holy clarity, I tell you, the storm was the sound of the contraction. The chaos was the shaking of what could no longer stay hidden. You thought you were barely holding on. But child, you were actually breaking through. Every day you didn't quit, you pushed. Every time you praised through the pain, you crowned the promise. You may not have felt powerful, but the entire spirit realm saw the glory growing in you. That's why the pressure mounted. It's why the silence got louder. Because the closer the delivery, the more intense the labor. And now, the labor is ending. The promise is descending. Not one moment of that warfare will be wasted. I will redeem every tear, every sleepless night, every unanswered question. You will not exit this battle empty-handed. You will exit endued with power. Power that comes only through endurance. So lift your head. Wipe your tears. Not because the pain didn't matter, but because it produced something eternal. The enemy tried to convince you that you were losing. But he forgot, you were never fighting for victory. You were fighting from it. And now, I have risen in your circumstance with fire in my eyes and healing in my wings. You will begin to see it. The reversal, the restoration, the redemption, not as a reward, but as proof. Proof that what tried to break you could not bury you. Proof that the prophetic word over your life is still alive. And child, it's about to be fulfilled in full view. Beloved, come near. I am whispering now, not because my voice is weak, but because what I am about to say is intimate. Holy, heavy. You've walked through fires that tried to consume more than your circumstances. They came for your identity. You've endured storms that didn't just target your plans, they targeted your faith. There were nights when your silence was louder than your worship. Moments when your amen was laced with confusion. And yet, you're here. Still standing. Still breathing. Still carrying the flicker of belief, even if the flame felt faint. And now I say to you with a voice that shakes eternity, this is the night I reclaim what tried to break you. Every lie that said you were forgotten, I am reversing it. Every trauma that scarred your trust, I'm healing it. Every delay that made you feel disqualified, I'm redeeming it. I was there in the fire, child. Not watching from afar, walking inside of it with you. You never saw me leave. And now, I'm not just bringing you out. I'm bringing you back into rooms you thought were sealed shut forever. I'm reopening places that pain had locked. I'm redeeming years that you mentally wrote off. Because what the enemy used to break you, I'm using to bless you. And not abstractly, not metaphorically, tangibly. I will turn the very area of your greatest loss into the site of your greatest leverage. The place where you were mocked, that's where I'll place your mantle. The relationship that broke you, that's where I'll release deeper restoration. The moments where you said, I don't think I can come back from this, that's where I'm meeting you tonight. This isn't a pep talk. It's a prophetic reversal. I'm not patching up broken pieces. I'm making all things new. There is a resurrection anointing moving over your timeline right now. What looked buried is being raised. What looked dead is being redefined. This is not recovery. This is reclamation. I'm reclaiming the territory of your soul that fear tried to occupy. I'm reclaiming the joy that anxiety tried to crush. I'm reclaiming the purpose that shame tried to bury. So open your hands. Tonight is not about rebuilding from your ruins. It's about receiving from mine. I already took the weight. I already bore the breaking. And now, I'm handing you what no man can give, restoration with interest. You won't come out of this storm with ashes. You'll come out with answers. You'll carry clarity, strength, favor, fire. The kind of fire that says, I've been through it but I didn't die in it. The kind that makes people ask, how did they survive that? And you'll look up and whisper, God reclaimed me. Because I did. And I am. And tonight, that reclamation begins in full. Not solely. Not partially. But with the force of a father who refuses to let his child lie fractured. You are whole again. And this night is holy because of it. My child, I saw the moment it slipped through your fingers. That thing, that dream, that relationship, that opportunity. The one you prayed over with trembling hands and wet cheeks. The one you tried to hold on to, even as life pulled it from your grasp. I heard the cracking inside your heart. The grief that settled in your bones. A silence that followed. You thought you had lost. You thought it was the end. But child, it was never the end. It was the exchange. And not an exchange of punishment. Not abandonment. A divine transaction. One heaven orchestrated not to take from you, but to trade up, to replace what was partial with what is perfect. I know that what you lost hurt. I won't minimize that pain. I was with you in it. I gathered your tears as if they were pearls. I hovered over your ache like a surgeon over sacred wounds. But hear me, that moment was not a loss, it was a repositioning. What you were clinging to, as precious as it felt, could not contain the magnitude of what I am giving you now. You had outgrown it in spirit. It could no longer stretch with your assignment. And so I allowed what you thought was vital to fall, so that I could place something eternal in its place. That door didn't close to punish you. It closed to preserve you. I had to remove it so I could reveal me. I want you to pause and see this clearly. Every loss you experienced was met with a gain you didn't yet recognize. You lost familiarity, and I gave you deeper discernment. You lost comfort, and I gave you clarity. You lost what looked fruitful, but it was seasonal. And now, I'm placing something in your life that is not seasonal. It's sustainable. What I'm giving you tonight will not wither when things get hard. It will not betray you when you're at your weakest. It is not rooted in people's opinions or circumstances. It is anchored in my nature. And I am not just restoring, I'm replacing. I am handing you double for the trouble. And what is coming will make you forget the sting of what you left behind. So lift your eyes. Do not mourn the door I shut. Praise me for the one I'm opening. You're about to understand why it had to leave. Why it couldn't stay. Why no amount of praying could keep it in place. Because I never take something without putting something better in motion. The enemy wants you stuck in grief. But I'm calling you into gratitude. This exchange is not your ending. It's the ignition of your next anointing. You're not walking away empty. You're walking into more. And soon, you'll look back and say, what I thought I lost was actually the greatest gain of my life. Because I am not just the God who restores. I am the God who upgrades. And child, tonight is your divine exchange. Child, you've carried something inside you that no one truly sees. Not the full weight of it. Not the late night wrestling. Not the holy tension between obedience and exhaustion. You've walked through rooms with a smile while hosting silent battles within. You've prayed with fire even while your heart felt fragile. And through it all, you've carried the call, faithfully, quietly, consistently. Heaven has been watching. I have been watching. And now I say to you, what you've carried in secret is about to be revealed in glory. This is not about exposure for applause. It's about manifestation for my name's sake. You didn't carry this to be seen. You carried it to be sent. There were days you nearly gave up, but still, you held on. There were nights you cried, God, does any of this matter? And now, child, I answer, yes. Every ounce of sacrifice, every minute of perseverance, every hidden act of obedience, it has all been growing something holy inside of you. And tonight, heaven is ready to reveal it. Not because you finally reached perfection, but because you've remained postured in humility. Because you didn't abort the assignment. You nurtured it through pressure, through pruning, through pure dependence on me. This unveiling will not feel like performance. It will feel like prophetic birth. You won't need to force the timing. It will arrive like a wave, overwhelming, undeniable, holy. I'm about to put visibility on what was formed in invisibility. The oil I've been producing in private is about to pour in public. The wisdom you gained in the wilderness is about to speak in boardrooms, pulpits, platforms, and unexpected places. You will not need to promote yourself. You are not rising on a tide of talent. You are rising on a river of anointing. And it will be unmistakable. It will be me they see when they look at you. Me they feel when you speak. Me they encounter when you walk into the room. To hold your head up. You are not stepping into performance. You are stepping into prophetic visibility. And this visibility doesn't exalt you. It exalts the one who shaped you. Your story will become a scroll others read for hope. Not because you had it easy, but because you carried the hard things well. And now, the wait is over. The unveiling has come. I am removing the veil of obscurity and draping you in glory. And that glory, child, will speak for itself. You won't need to say much. My hand will do the talking. What was hidden in the secret place is now coming forth. Not as pride, not as noise, but as evidence. You were faithful with the hidden. Now you shall steward the revealed. You've asked me more than once, why is it taking so long? You've whispered it into your pillow. You've cried it in your car. You've tried to bury the question under declarations of faith, but it always seems to resurface. especially in the stillness of night. You've wondered if you did something wrong, if you missed a sign, if you failed a test. But child, hear me clearly. You did not delay this. I did. And it wasn't punishment. It was protection. It wasn't hesitation. It was holy pacing. I needed time to align the layers, to prepare the people, to shape your character so your gift would have grow your grounding. The delay wasn't a denial. It was a divine decision. If I had released you too soon, you would have mistaken the platform for the promise. You would have assumed influence was the same as inheritance. But I love you too much to let you confuse visibility with victory. That's why I let things seem still. That's why I kept you in the hidden place longer than your peers. Because while others were rushing to be seen, I was refining you to stand. I wasn't just preparing the blessing for you. I was preparing you for the blessing. And now, the shift is happening. Not because you forced it, but because heaven has declared, it's time. And when heaven speaks, everything moves. So now, brace yourself. Because what felt like endless waiting is about to flip into sudden unfolding. I don't do small entrances. I don't release partial waves. When I move with force. This release will not be a slow drizzle. It will be a downpour. One day, you'll be walking through delay. The next, you'll be swimming in delivery. That's how sudden it will be. The rooms you've been locked out of suddenly open. The people who once overlooked you suddenly drawn. The ideas you couldn't seem to birth subtly downloaded. It's not random. It's recompense for the time you remained faithful, for the seeds you planted in obscurity, for the trust you kept when everything in you wanted to give up. And hear me again, child. You will not be late to your destiny. You will not arrive behind schedule. You will land in perfect alignment. The suddenness of this release will redeem the time you thought was wasted. I will show you that what I held back temporarily, I am now multiplying exponentially. It will come so fast, you'll have to pause just to breathe. And in that moment, I will remind you, this is not coincidence. This is not karma. This is kingdom. And kingdom timing doesn't follow your calendar. It follows my counsel. And my counsel says, the delay was divine, but now, the release will be sudden. Child, I want to tell you something that will break every lie of unworthiness off of you. I have something reserved with your name on it. Not generic. Not leftover. Not second-hand. Specifically for you. You are not one among many in my eyes. You are not interchangeable. You are irreplaceable. And what I've reserved for you cannot be given to another. It's not up for grabs. It's not in competition. It has your spiritual fingerprint carved into its very design. Before the foundation of the world, I etched your name into a purpose that no one else can fulfill. And now, that reserved word is about to be released. You spent too long believing you had to fight for scraps. That if you didn't push hard enough, you miss your moment. That if you weren't loud enough, someone else would take your place. But child, you are not eating from a table of scarcity. You are seated at a table of abundance. You don't have to clamor to be seen. You're already chosen. You don't have to strive to be known. You're already named. And I have not forgotten what I reserved for you. You may feel like others got ahead. Like opportunities skip over you. Like favor passed your address. But that's not the truth. I was reserving your portion until the timing matched the capacity. Because what I have for you is not ordinary. It's ordained. Let me speak this with clarity. your reserved portion is not just a blessing. It's a commission. It carries weight. It carries responsibility. And that's why I waited. That's why I didn't let you settle. That's why certain doors closed even when you begged me to open them. Because they weren't connected to what was yours. They were distractions, invitations to settle for less than what I had reserved. And now, child, the wait is over. What I've held for you is being released. The resources, the relationships, the revelation, all of it is tailor-made. And when it arrives, it will fit you so precisely, you'll wonder how you ever tried to wear anything else. So stand tall, not in pride but in prophetic expectation. There is no one who can take what I've placed aside for you. No one can walk in your assignment. No one can fill your shoes. What I created for you, in all your complexity, all your journey, all your beauty and brokenness, is arriving now. And when it hits your life, the atmosphere will shift. You'll feel the wind of alignment. You'll sense the fragrance of fulfillment. And deep within, you'll hear my voice whisper again, this right here was reserved. Yes, to you. My child, listen closely. You've placed expectations on yourself that I never authored. You've been carrying the crushing weight of trying to be flawless, constantly evaluating if you're measuring up, wondering if your next mistake will disqualify you. You walk on eggshells in your spirit, fearing that one misstep will forfeit everything I promised you. But I, the Lord your God, am not asking for perfection. I'm asking for proximity. You don't need to be spotless to be close. You don't need to be flawless to be favored. I didn't call you because you had it all together. I called you because your heart is still pointed toward me, even when your feet stumble. Let me remind you of something holy. When Adam fell, I still came looking for him. I didn't hide from his sin. You hid from me. I've never been afraid of your humanity. I created you intricately and intentionally, knowing every weakness, every tendency, every battle you'd face. And still, I chose you. Still, I called you. Still, I marked you. Because what moves my heart is not performance, it's presence. It's the posture of a child who, even in failure, still runs toward me instead of from me. That is what I'm after. That is what keeps the heavens open. Not your perfection, your pursuit. You've been trained by religion to perform, to strive, to prove yourself. But I didn't save you to make you a performer. I saved you to make you a dweller, a son, a daughter, someone who lives not in shame, but in the shadow of my wings. That's why the enemy keeps trying to isolate you, because he knows the power is in proximity. If he can't steal your calling, he'll try to steal your closeness. But tonight, I'm breaking that lie off of you. I'm calling you back into the secret place, not as a punishment, but as a pleasure. I miss the way you used to talk to me with no filter. The way you'd whisper my name with tears and trembling. Not because you were perfect, but because you were present. So come close again. Closer than ever. I'm not holding your past over your head. I'm not tallying your flaws. I'm holding open the door of my heart. My arms are stretched wide, not because I'm impressed with your performance, but because I delight in your desire to be near me. Stop trying to clean yourself up before approaching. Just approach. I'll do the cleansing. I'll do the refining. All I need from you is this. Don't run from me when you fall. Run toward me. Because every time you do, you'll find I've already been running toward you. Just as I am resurrecting what you thought was over, I am also commissioning you to help raise what is still asleep in others. When you give, through super thanks, membership, or the PayPal link I've placed in the description, you become part of a supernatural awakening. Your support ignites more of these messages to reach the ones I've marked for deliverance. You are not just giving to a cause. You are sowing into the resurrection of dreams. As I said, the generous will prosper. Those who refresh others will themselves be refreshed. That's my promise. Live for you. You who are hearing this night chose you to carry more. Click below. Sow into the surge. Let your giving send revival into someone's night, just like I entered yours. Beloved, there is something you buried, something you folded up and placed in the back of your heart because it hurt too much to hold on to. A vision, a dream, a word you once carried like fire in your bones. You believed it. You warred for it. You spoke it out loud. But over time, as doors slammed shut, as people walked away, as timelines shattered and silence took over, you let it die. You called it wisdom. You called it maturity. You told yourself you were moving on. But in truth, child, you were grieving. Grieving something that felt final. But hear me now. What you thought was closed forever is being reopened tonight. I was there when the door closed. I permitted it. Not to punish you, but to protect what I was still forming in you. The delay wasn't a rejection. It was a refinement. The dream wasn't wrong. The vision wasn't inaccurate. But the version of you that first received it wasn't yet ready to carry it into manifestation. So I let the door close. I let the season shift. I allowed the soil of your spirit to be tilled by tears and silence. And now, I am declaring with fire and finality, the door is reopening. Not in the same way, not with the same people, not in the same timing, but with more power, more clarity, more authority. You're about to watch me resurrect what you buried, but not as it was. I am breathing on it with resurrection fire. The dream will rise with new breath. The vision will expand with new dimensions. The doors you thought were shut forever will creak open not because you knocked, but because I commanded them to open. This isn't about nostalgia. It's about completion. I never waste what I speak. My word never returns void. And what I placed in you back then was not aborted. It was preserved, hidden for the right hour. And child, this is the hour. So go find that dream again. Pull out the journals. Revisit the promises. Dust off the words you shelved out of survival. Because I am not done with what I started. And neither are you. The pain was real, but so is the promise. And I have come to reignite what seemed lost. To say, live again. The tomb is empty. The stone is rolled away. The vision is not dead. It's been waiting, and tonight, it rises. This time, not in fear, not in striving, but in fire and fullness. What you thought was closed forever is not just opening. It's being fulfilled. Child, look at those mountains you believed were immovable. The walls you thought would always stand. The obstacles you convinced your mind were eternal. I've seen you standing before them, fists clenched, tears in your eyes praying for a crack. Tonight I say this, those mountains are shaking because I am moving. Their foundations are rattling. Their knees are wobbling. The walls are crumbling at the edges. What you perceived as permanent is now becoming precarious. Not because of what you can do, but because I have acted. The same God who spoke worlds into existence is speaking into your impossibilities now. You thought you were stuck beneath them, but those very stones you feared will become the pathway over them. I want you to feel the tremor. It is convulsion in the spirit realm. It is the sound of principality repositioning. It is heaven activating what you could not initiate. Don't mistake the shaking for chaos. It's the clearance of breakthrough. The mountains are quake crying on your behalf. They're screaming, "This child is coming through." The walls are retracting because my presence demands room. And the same power that dismantles barriers is what's releasing your purpose to walk through them. You will no longer stand before them. You will rise above them. You've tried strategies. You've prayed through methodologies. You've pushed through systems. And yet, the mountains remained. But now I'm acting in a way that transcends systems. I am dethroning strongholds. I am unleashing altars of reversal. I am dispersing the darkness that did not yield to your effort. The shift you feel in your spirit, the tremble, the intensity, that's not your anxiety. That is my vibration. It is the beginning of the seismic change in your timeline. And you will walk through what you once feared because I made the route right through the heart of it. So lift your head, beloved. Do not tremble at the shadow of what looked immovable. You are not small. You are not forgotten. The mountains are screaming at my glory. The walls are kneeling at your destiny. And I am leading you through. What you once saw as barriers are becoming your altars. What looked like limitations are now the footnotes of your miracle. The earthquake has begun. Brace yourself, because I'm moving mountains for you tonight. Beloved, I know what it's been like for you to carry this burden, to bear the weight of unanswered prayers, to walk through seasons where your faith felt like treading water in a storm. I wake up in the morning wondering if this is just one more day I'm waiting. You have experienced trial after trial, and your heart has borne the scars of disappointment. But mark this, tonight will not only be a test, it will be your testimony. The same circumstances that pressed you down will now publish your deliverance. The valleys you traversed will become the stage from which your miracle is declared. You will not just survive tonight. You will see glory. Listen to me now. Your trial was never my destination for you. It was my instrument to prepare your testimony. The passions, the prayers, the sacrifice, they were never meant to be wasted. I collected them. I stored them in my treasury. Each tear became a gem. Each midnight cry became a pillar. Each question you feared was lost. I turned it into a question only I could answer. And tonight, I'm ready to unveil. What has haunted you will herald you. What has hidden you will hail you. What has tested you will tell of my power. Your testimony is being authored even as I speak. You may have worried no one would understand, that your pain would be dismissed, your story overlooked. But tonight, your God is elevating your moment in such a way that no one can ignore it. When you share what you have walked through, people will gasp. When you lift your hands, they will sense the weight of resurrection in your eyes. When you speak of your breakthrough, they will hear not the echo of effort, but the roar of God's intervention. Your testimony will not be a whispered secret. It will be a proclamation of heaven's entry into your life. So hold nothing back. Let the years of silence pour into testimony. Let the scars baptized in grace become the markers of my faithfulness. Tonight is not just about the storm passing. It's about the story rising. It's about songs birthed in the embers. It's about hearts awakened by what I do in your life. And the next time someone asks, "How did you survive?" you will not have to drop to your knees, because by then, they will have already seen how God carried you. This night is your testimony, not just your trial. It is the shift from suffering to story, and it begins now. Child, listen. The overflow you've been asking for, the abundance you've imagined, the breakthrough you've hoped would arrive, it has already begun. but not in the blare of day, not in public spectacle. It has begun in the shadows, in places no one sees, deep in your heart, behind closed doors, in whispered prayers, in tears, in surrendered lips. While you thought nothing was happening, I was stirring the reservoirs. While you believed the silence was absence, I was amassing your provision. The overflow is not a consequence of what you do next. It is the eruption of what I have already done behind the veil. And now the veil is tearing. That which you felt was dormant was actually maturing. The resources that you thought were delayed were actually being refined. The people you thought forgot you were actually being prepared. The vision you thought was buried was actually being anchored. I moved everywhere quietly so that the manifestation could come loudly. Because I do not boast in my process. I boast in my presence. And the overflow that is breaking into your life will carry my signature, not because of your scheme, but because of my sovereignty. The rivers rise first in hidden springs, dark underground, unseen, untouchable by the drought, and then they flood the land. That is what is happening inside you now. A flood is forming. The soil of your spirit has soaked in every tear, every faith step, every not yet, and now the floodgates are cracking open. You will begin to see it in small signs at first, a favor here, a word there, a provision you didn't expect, and then you'll see the fullness. You'll look around and say, "This isn't from me. This is from God." Because the overflow doesn't require manipulation. It doesn't require striving. It requires a vessel emptied. You've emptied yourself through patience, through persistence, through holy posture. Now I am filling you. And not just filling, overflowing. I am sending more than capacity. I am sending more than challenge. I am sending more than you ever thought you needed. For I do not release in measure, but in multiples. This overflow will break ceilings you couldn't see, cross borders you feared, restore places you thought were dead, and breathe life into what looked impossible. So watch carefully. Do not disdain the small beginnings, because they are earthquake signatures. Do not doubt when you don't see it yet, because what's underground controls what bursts upward. And don't be afraid when the overflow feels too much. I made you for this. You are not too small for the flood. You are not too fragile for the fullness. The overflow has already begun in the shadows, and now it moves toward the sunlight. Prepare your hands, adjust your posture, whiten your heart, for what's coming cannot be contained in smallness. Beloved, all your waiting, all your prayers, all your faith, they have been gathering in the spiritual soil. They have become seeds planted in the kingdom, watered by tears, cultivated by persistence. And now, the time of drip, of slow trickles, of small favor here and there, is ending. I declare to you now, your harvest will come as a surge, not a drip. Not a weak trickle, not a delayed promise inching toward you. A surge, a flood, a swift, overwhelming movement of my goodness, my glory, my reward. You may have grown used to waiting, to inching forward, to counting pennies, to measuring hope in fractions. But child, that season has passed. The surge is coming so fast that you'll have to steady yourself just to receive it. It will come in storms of blessing, not in polite drizzle. It will flood lives, open doors, unlock wealth, reposition relationships. Hearts will shift. Atmospheres will change. The surge will not just touch your edges. It will cover your whole. That's my delight for you. Not a partial fulfillment. Not a compromised version. But abundant overflow. Everything I stored for you, released at once. Why a surge? because there's too much redemption to hold back. There's glory to release. There's legacy to confirm. There's brokenness to heal. There's nations to shake. And I choose to open your floodgates now so that your testimony doesn't whisper, it roars. So that your praise doesn't echo, it resounds. So that your life doesn't flicker, it burns bright. So that the world doesn't glance, it stops and stares. The surge is my signature on a life I ordain. And you, my child, will become a walking proclamation of what it means when heaven meets persistence. So do not fear the intensity. Do not shrink from the overflow. Do not pretend you can contain it. You weren't made for containment. You were made for release. And this surge will carry what you've held on to quietly and thrust it into the open. It will testify that God keeps His promises, even when He appears silent. It will validate your years of faith, your nights of waiting, your hidden obedience. It will make them matter. So stand ready. Take deep breath. Open wide. Let your heart expect not a drip, but a deluge. The harvest you waited for will not trickle. It will surge. And it begins tonight. Child, you have carried regrets, moments when you thought you missed your window. Times you looked around and thought, I'm too late. You've watched others move forward, prayed for your turn, only to feel disqualified by timing. But hear me, every too late becomes just in time tonight. The narrative is shifting. The calendar of heaven does not follow your delay, your hesitation, your fears. It responds to my sovereign timing. And this night, I am overruling what felt like missed seasons. I am stepping into every might have been and turning them into mark-made moments. I have seen the tears you cried for what you thought was lost. I have seen the prayers that felt unanswered because they arrived late. But child, I was never late. I was precise. I allowed time to mature what needed depth. I let seasons pass so that when I move it, the impact would not just reach you, but resound through ages. And that's exactly what's happening now. All those too lates are being redeemed. Doors you believed slammed shut forever, I am reopening them. Words you thought died in silence, I am re-speaking them into life. Opportunities you thought escaped you, I am drawing them back. The clock that seemed against you, it's bending to my will. Just in time is no longer a possibility. It's your destiny tonight. You won't even feel the delay. It will feel sudden. It will feel wild. It will feel like time itself is bending as I release what was held until the perfect moment. Others may ask, how did this happen so fast? Let them question. You will know the truth. You will remember the seasons of waiting. You will look back and say, I thought I missed it, but He answered just in time. And your faith will never be the same. What you once wrote off as a failure, you'll declare as foundation. What you once mourned as missed opportunities, you'll celebrate as marker moments. And in this night, the timeline reverses. So lift your arms. Open your mouth. Let your heart receive what the enemy tried to steal. Because with me there is no too late. There is only my time. And this moment that felt like it should have happened years ago, it's happening now. And it's perfected by my presence. Every regret is being redeemed. Every delay is being dismantled. Every too late is becoming just in time. Beloved, I know the fear you've carried. The fear that when I move, it will scorch everything you love. The fear that the flame will consume what is precious in you. The fear that when my glory arrives, it will uproot more than it heals. You've wondered, will this breakthrough demand I lose parts of myself I'm not ready to lose? And I say to you now an unshakable truth. The fire you fear will burn away what must die, not to destroy you, but to deliver you, to prune the dead, purify your vessel, and cause the resurrection of what endures. When the purifier enters, everything contrary to purpose must yield. Lies, patterns, habits, thought systems, relationships that anchor your soul to deficiency. I will breathe fire in the rooms of your mind, in the halls of your memory, on the thresholds of your future. But know this, it's not to punish, it is to purify. The gold is purified by the furnace. The refined is revealed after the fire. And you, my child, are being refined for glory. The things you clung to out of comfort will fall away because they were not built to carry what I am releasing. And that's good, because what remains will carry me. I am not taking you through fire accidentally. I'm not careless with your journey. Every flame in your path is intentional, meant to remove what dims your light so your light can blaze. You felt the pressure, the heat, the disorientation. But I've been there in the fire with you. My hand is not far. My voice is steady. And at the end of it, there is new strength, new clarity, new capacity. When the fire passes, you will not be the same. You will be more resilient, more radiant, more refined, ready to carry weight in purity, not brokenness. So don't fear the flame. Don't resist the burning. Lean into it. Let it purge what prevents your manifestation. Trust me when I move in fire. I move to free you. And when this night ends, not in ashes but in altar, you will see why the burn was necessary. You will thank me for the fire. You will worship me for the purification. Because out of what died, but lives will shine brighter than ever. The fire you feared, it is your refining. And tonight, it does not consume. It crowns. Child, you've wondered if this is the end. If the season is shutting. If the trial with the closing of a chapter. You've sensed the finality of something, but couldn't name it. You've carried a heaviness, unsure if it was grief or breakthrough. And now I speak to you plainly. This final hour is not the end. It's the entrance. What felt like conclusion is actually commencement. The pressure you felt is not the closing of a door. It's the contraction of birthing. You are stepping into something too weighty, too sacred, too designed for the ordinary. The air is thick because the veil is thinning. The room feels quiet because heaven is pausing to watch your emergence. You thought the end would come with sorrow, but this end is laced with glory. You thought what was finishing would leave you empty, but you are walking out of this with double. You thought what you left behind would define you, but I am reintroducing you, not based on who you've been, but based on who I say you are. This hour feels final because it is, but not as punishment. It is the final strike that breaks the chains. It is the final blow to the assignment of delay. It is the final breath of wilderness before the roar of Canaan. You are not walking away, you are walking into a fullness you've never known, into a realm you only dreamed of, into destiny not delayed but activated. This is the entrance of fulfillment, the entrance of answers, the entrance of fire. You won't walk through it alone. I am standing at the threshold. I'm not calling from a distance. I'm beside you, whispering your name, breaking off fear, lifting your chin. There's no room for smallness now, no room for retreat. You've crossed the Rubicon. You've left the safe shore. The river of my promise is sweeping you forward. And I tell you now, you were always meant for this. You were always meant for impact. You were always meant to carry fire. And now, your entrance begins. So breathe it in. Let the old fall off. Let the former identities burn. This isn't a goodbye. It's a glory be. The final hour of delay has ended. The final hour of confusion has collapsed. The final hour of wondering when is silenced. Because the time is now. The final hour has become the first breath. And I, the Lord your God, welcome you, not to the end, but to the entrance of everything I've ever promised you. Step in, child. Step in. Now that I've brought you through the door, I ask you to help me open it for someone else. The entrance you just stepped into is sacred, but there are others still trapped outside, waiting for this word to reach them. Your support makes that possible. Every super thanks, every membership, every gift through the PayPal link becomes manna in their wilderness, fire in their night. As it is written, those who sow generously will reap generously. And child, I do not lie. When you give to what I am breathing on, you align with favor, protection, and prophetic multiplication. So move now. Trill below. Give with boldness. Open the floodgates, for I am using your hands to carry others into their entrance tonight. You've poured out. Now let me pour in. The same hands that gave are the ones I now want to fill. Be still, my child, and listen. My child, listen to me. Cease your striving. Right now, in this moment, stop. I see you, with your mind racing, replaying conversations from today, already planning your defense for tomorrow. You feel that knot tightening in your stomach, don't you? That isn't from me. That is the sound of the world, and I am calling you out of its noise. I need you to silence the anxious voices, the ones in your head, and the ones coming from those around you who speak of defeat and fear. They do not know what is about to happen tonight, but you will. Find a place of solitude. It does not have to be a different room. It can be right there in your chair. Just close your eyes and come away with me. Shut the door of your heart to the demands, the pressures from your job, the unspoken tensions lingering in your family. You carry so much, believing your strength is what holds it all together. But your strength is weary, and your hands are tired. Lay it all down. This quiet I am inviting you into is not emptiness. It is not a void. Think of it as the deep, silent breath before a storm breaks, not a storm of destruction, but of cleansing. It is the pause before the music swells, the moment of absolute stillness before a great power is unleashed. This is where I speak. This is where you must learn to listen. In this stillness, while you feel nothing is happening, I am moving everything. You cannot see it yet, but I am aligning circumstances on your behalf. I am prompting a thought in the mind of someone who can help you. I am dismantling an obstacle that was being prepared for you next week. I am softening a heart that has been hard towards you. Your stillness is your act of faith that allows my work to accelerate. Your striving only gets in the way. So let go. Let go of the worry about that bill that is due. Release the fear of the doctor's report. Surrender the outcome of that difficult conversation you must have. They have no place in what is about to occur. They are heavy stones in your hands, and I am asking you to open your hands and let them fall to the ground. They are too small for the miracle I am about to perform. Listen to me now. Do not listen with your ears, which are tuned to the frequency of doubt and trouble. Listen with the deepest part of your soul, the part of you that recognizes its creator's voice. Can you hear it? Beneath the pounding of your anxious heart, there is a whisper that says, I am here. A whisper that says, it is time. A whisper that carries the authority to calm your inner chaos and command your circumstances to bow. This is the voice you must tune into tonight. All other signals are static. They are distractions sent to make you miss this divine appointment. Breathe me in. Feel my peace begin to settle over your spirit like a warm blanket. This is your preparation. This is the stillness before the shift. Stay here with me. Be still and know that I am God. My child, listen carefully to what I am saying. Tonight is not a test of your strength. You feel you have no strength left, and you are right. You have been striving, fighting, and holding on by a thread, and I have seen your exhaustion. So let me be clear, tonight, your strength is not required. Tonight is a demonstration of mine. I am inviting you to a front row seat to see my glory unfold in your life. You do not have to perform. You do not have to earn this. You are simply my beloved child, and I am choosing to display my power, not because you are perfect, but because I am your Father and I love you. Your only task in this moment is to believe that I am who I say I am. Believe that I am the God who speaks to mountains and they move, who opens seas, who brings life from dust. You have read the stories, but tonight, I want to write a new one with your name on the page. Prepare your heart to see the impossible become the simple reality of your situation. That financial debt that seems like a canyon with no bridge. That is the impossible I will address. The relationship that has been shattered into 1,000 pieces, with no hope of repair. That is where I will work. The medical diagnosis that has been spoken over you like a death sentence. My word is the final verdict. What man has deemed irreversible is merely the backdrop against which my power will be most clearly seen. This event, this singular night, will become a memorial stone in your journey of faith. For the rest of your life, when doubt whispers to you in the darkness, you will be able to point back to this moment. You will say, "No, I remember the night my God moved. I saw it with my own eyes." It will be an anchor for your soul in every future storm. Do not misunderstand. You are not some passive observer watching from a distance. You are the reason for this display. I am doing this for you. Every part of this miracle is intricately designed with your heart in mind, to heal you, to restore you, and to set you on a new foundation. You are not watching a show. You are receiving an inheritance. This is my love for you made tangible, my power made personal. So receive this invitation. Accept your front row seat. Quiet your analysis and your planning, and simply prepare to witness what I, your God, will do for the one I so deeply love. Before we can step into the new, you and I must attend to what you are wearing. Spiritually, you are cloaked in garments from yesterday, and they cannot come with you into what I am doing tonight. I want you to see them now. Feel the weight of that garment of past failures. It is heavy, isn't it? It is woven with every mistake, every word you wish you could take back, every opportunity you feel you have squandered. It sags on your shoulders and whispers your unworthiness. You have worn it for so long, you have forgotten it is not who you are. I am commanding you now, take it off. Let that heavy cloak slide from your shoulders and fall to the floor. Leave it there. Next, feel the scratchy, ill-fitting garment of shame. The enemy tailored it just for you, reminding you of your sin even after you have been forgiven. It is a lie. When you came to me, I washed you clean. My sacrifice was more than enough to remove every stain. That garment has no place on a child of the King. Cast it off. It is nothing but a filthy rag. And what about that tight, restrictive garment of others' opinions? The expectations and judgments that have been placed upon you, that have confined you and kept you from being who I created you to be. You have been suffocating under its pressure, trying to please everyone and losing yourself in the process. Whip it away. Their opinions do not define you. My word does. You must let these go, because tonight I am clothing you myself. I am bringing you a new mantle, a garment of strength woven with my own power. I am robing you in righteousness, a brilliant white that no darkness can stain. This new clothing cannot simply be placed over the old. You cannot carry my favor while still clinging to your failures. You cannot walk in my authority while still wearing the chains of shame. You must be naked of your past for me to clothe you in your future. So stand before me now, unburdened and ready. Step forward out of that pile of discarded rags on the floor. It is time to be robed in my favor, to be dressed for the victory that is already yours. This is a holy moment, a divine exchange. Give me your past, and I will give you your destiny. You feel that? The very air around you is different. It is charged, humming with a spiritual energy. This is not your imagination. This is the result of your prayers. Every prayer you have sown in tears, every desperate whisper in the dead of night, every cry of your heart, when you had no words left, none of them were lost. Heaven has been storing every petition, every tear, in a golden bowl. And my child, that bowl is now full. It is ready to be tipped over in your favor, to pour out upon the earth the answers you have been waiting for. Your faithful words, spoken even when you saw no evidence, have created this spiritual charge. You have been building something in the unseen realm, and the culmination is tonight. Do not cease your communication with me now. This is the most critical moment. This is the final push. The enemy would love for you to fall silent now, to become distracted or discouraged just before the breakthrough. Do not give him that satisfaction. I am giving you a strategy. Speak my promises back to me. Remind heaven of what is already written in my word. Your prayers of petition are now becoming prayers of declaration. Say to me, you promised that you would never leave me nor forsake me. Say, you promised that what the enemy meant for evil, you would turn for my good. Say, you promised that by your stripes I am healed. When you speak my own words back to me, you are aligning your voice with mine, and the creative power of the universe is unleashed. As you speak, understand that angelic hosts are being dispatched. They are moving in response to your heartfelt cries and faith-filled declarations. They are my ministering spirits, sent to serve you, the heir of salvation. Your prayers are their assignments. Your words are their battle commands. So do not be silent. Press in. This is not the time to retreat. This is the time to engage, to speak, to pray, and to watch as the atmosphere you have charged with your faith finally breaks open with the power of my response. As the moment of your breakthrough draws near, the enemy is preparing his final assault. It will not be a physical attack. It will be a wave of doubt sent to shipwreck your faith at the last possible second. You must be ready. You must guard the gates of your mind with a fierce vigilance, and your weapon is my unshakable word. I am your commander, giving you the battle plan right now. You are to refuse to entertain any thought that does not align with what I have promised you. That one. Treat your mind like a fortified city and act as the gatekeeper. When a thought of fear approaches, deny it entry. When a thought of its impossible comes knocking, refuse to open the gate. You have the authority to decide what you meditate on. The battle for your miracle tonight will be won or lost in the 6 inches between your ears. Here is your counterattack. For every what if the enemy throws at you, you will replace it with a my God will. When he whispers, what if it doesn't work this time? You will declare aloud, my God will finish the good work he has started. When he taunts, what if you are left disappointed again? You will shout back, my God will not withhold any good thing from me. When the fear of failure rises, you will proclaim, "My God will cause all things to work together for my good." This is not a passive defense. It is an active, aggressive engagement. Your victory tonight begins with this battle won within your thoughts. Do not tell me you cannot control your thoughts. I have not given you a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. That sound mind is your weapon. It is disciplined, focused, and submitted to my truth. Walk in it. Command your thoughts to align with my report. The enemy's strategy is to make you feel like his lies are your own feelings. Reject the deception. His fear is not your fear. His doubt is not your doubt. Stand your ground, my child. Barricade your mind. The victory is already secured, and your job now is to hold the line in your thinking until you see it manifest in your reality. My child, do not pause here. I have cleared the ground and silenced the enemy specifically for this conversation. To turn away now would be to leave me waiting, with the keys to your freedom still in my hand. My heart aches at the thought of you choosing the familiar noise over the new life I am offering. Stay with me, the breaking of chains is next. Now, I am going to give you a key. It is a master key that unlocks heavenly portals that logic and reason can never open. This key is praise. And I am not talking about the praise that comes after the victory. I am commanding you to begin to praise me now, right in the middle of the waiting, even before you see the slightest flicker of the promised manifestation. This is the highest expression of faith. When you praise me in advance, you are serving notice to all of heaven and hell that your trust is not in what you see, but in who I am. It is a declaration that my word alone is your reality. This act of unconditional praise does something profound in the spiritual realm. It completely confuses the enemy. He operates in the currency of fear, anxiety, and doubt. When you respond to an impossible situation with joyful worship, you are using a weapon he has no defense against. He expects you to be crying, to be worrying, to be questioning me. When he hears you saying instead, it dismantles his strategies and sends his forces into chaos. I want you to sing a new song. It does not need to be a famous hymn or have a perfect melody. It is the song of your own heart, a song of victory for a battle that I have already won on your behalf. Sing about my faithfulness. Sing about my power. Let your worship become the soundtrack to the miracle I am performing in the unseen realm. Imagine it. As the angelic armies move on your behalf, the soundtrack they are moving to is your voice, lifted in gratitude and trust. Gratitude that is offered in advance is not just a nice sentiment. It is a powerful force. Thank me now for the healing you have not yet felt. Thank me now for the provision you have not yet received. Thank me now for the reconciliation that has not yet occurred. This moves my heart, my child. It demonstrates a trust so pure, so absolute, that it compels heaven to act. Do not let your feelings dictate your praise. Let your faith dictate it. Even if you have to start with a whisper, begin. Praise is your key. Turn it in the lock now and watch as the gates of heaven swing open for you. My child, I must speak to you about the attachments that are holding you back. Tonight, I am bringing a divine sword, not a weapon of violence, but an instrument of release, to cut the cords that have kept you tethered to a past I have already redeemed. This is a precise and loving act, a spiritual surgery performed by a father who sees the infection you cannot. You have been carrying connections that drain your spirit and distract you from the high calling I have placed on your life, and tonight, they must be severed. Let us be clear about what these are. I am talking about the soul tie to a past relationship, a person whose memory still holds an unhealthy power over your emotions, pulling you back into cycles of regret or fantasy. Every time you dwell on them, you give a piece of your heart away to a ghost. Tonight, I am cutting that cord. You will feel the release. I am also speaking of the toxic influence, perhaps a friend or even a family member, whose words are laced with doubt and negativity. After every conversation with them, you feel smaller, more anxious, less confident in what I have told you. They are an anchor of unbelief tied to your ankle, and you have been dragging them along out of a misplaced sense of loyalty. This is not loyalty, it is bondage. Tonight, that rope is being cut. This separation is a profound act of my love for you, a necessary measure to protect the glorious destiny I have written for your life. I see the path ahead, and I know these connections would inevitably lead you into a ditch, away from the highway I am preparing. You must understand, I am not just taking something from you. I am making room. The space in your heart and your life that has been occupied by these draining connections is being cleared and consecrated for the divine relationships I am bringing to you. I am making room for friends who will speak my life into you, for eyes who will champion your purpose, for a community that will reflect my love back to you. When you feel the severing tonight, and you will feel it as a sudden clarity, a quiet peace in a place where there was turmoil, a lightness in your very soul. Do not be afraid. Do not try to reattach the cord. Embrace this holy freedom. Step away from the ghosts of yesterday and the critics of today, for you are walking into a future filled with connections that are forged in heaven, designed to propel you forward, not hold you back. This is your liberation. I need you to listen to me with a heart of complete trust, because the path you have been walking on is about to take a sudden, supernatural turn. You have been moving forward with the map you thought was best, laboring down a tangled trail filled with obstacles and uncertainty. I see your effort, and I honor your perseverance. But that trail was never your destination. Tonight, I am moving you. There will be a divine rerouting of your life's direction. You must prepare for this, because some of the doors you have been desperately trying to push open are about to be sealed shut by my hand. The job you were so sure was your only option, the plan you had meticulously laid out, the opportunity that seemed like your last hope, you have been seeing their closure as rejection and failure. My child, you must see it through my eyes. I am not rejecting you. I am rescuing you. Those doors you thought were your future, they were too small. The room on the other side was a cage, too small for the greatness I have placed inside of you, too limited for the vastness of the destiny I am calling you toward. I close them because I love you too much to let you settle for less than my absolute best. In place of the tangled trail, I'm opening a highway, a broad, clear, divinely paved highway where you can run with purpose. The progress that once took you years of struggle will now happen in a season. Do not be alarmed by the suddenness of this change. From your perspective, it may feel disorienting, even frightening. You may feel like the ground is shifting beneath your feet. It is. I am moving your feet from the sinking sand of your own limited plans and placing them, tonight, onto the solid foundation of my divine purpose. Your only job is to trust my navigation. You do not need to see the entire map. You only need to take the next turn I show you. This new direction is not a detour. It leads directly to the promise I have prepared for you all along. Let go of your grip on the old map. Release your frustration over the closed doors. Acknowledge that my wisdom is higher than yours. Take a deep breath, and when I say, turn, you must be ready to move. This is the moment your journey truly begins. Prepare yourself, for a great light is about to flood the dark rooms of your life. Tonight is a night of divine revelation, an unveiling of hidden truths that will set you free. The confusion that has clouded your judgment for so long, making you feel paralyzed and uncertain, will dissipate like fog in the morning sun. I am giving you the gift of supernatural discernment. Secrets will be brought into the light. The enemy's plans, the hidden traps he has laid for you, will be utterly exposed. You will see them for what they are, and you will easily sidestep them. More than that, I will grant you the ability to see the true motives in the hearts of those around you. That person whose flattery has always felt hollow, you will suddenly understand their agenda. That situation that has felt vaguely off and unsettling to your spirit, I will pull back the curtain and show you the truth of what is happening in the unseen realm. This is not to make you suspicious or fearful, but to make you wise and shrewd as a serpent, yet gentle as a dove. The constant battle of indecision you have faced is ending. I know the turmoil it has caused you, the sleepless nights spent weighing options. That is over. For I will not only expose the enemy's strategy, but I will reveal mine. I will give you a clear, specific blueprint for your next season. The steps you need to take will become obvious. The path forward will be illuminated. You will know what to say yes to and what to walk away from without hesitation. This truth will liberate you from deceptions you did not even know you were under, lies you have believed about your own identity, about your value, about what is possible for your life. Now, you must become spiritually alert. I will be speaking to you in many ways. Pay close attention to your dreams tonight. I will communicate through them. Listen for the sudden knowing that settles in your spirit tomorrow, an insight that did not come from your own mind. I am sharpening your spiritual ears. What was once confusing will become clear. What was hidden will be revealed. And this truth, my truth, will be the key that unlocks the chains of confusion and sets you on a course of confident, decisive action. Be watchful, for I am speaking. I want to speak directly to the deep ache in your heart over what you perceive as lost time. The years you feel were wasted in a dead-end situation, the sorrow that stole your joy, the financial mistakes that set you back. The enemy loves to torment you with these memories, whispering that it is too late for you. Tonight I declare that he is a liar. This is the night of divine restoration. The years that the locusts have eaten are being redeemed. Every single thing you believe has been lost forever, I am bringing back to you. Let's talk about the opportunities. The chances you were too broken or too afraid to take. The ones you thought would never come again. I am a God of second chances, and I am bringing new and even greater opportunities across your path, and this time, you will be ready. Let's talk about your finances. The money that was stolen, the investment that failed, the resources drained by crisis after crisis. I am commanding a release of provision into your life that will not only replace what was lost, but will push you into an overflow. And the relationships, the connection that was severed by misunderstanding or distance, the precious time with loved ones that you can never get back. I am the God who redeems time. I can do more in a single moment of reconciliation than you can imagine in a lifetime of regret. My restoration is not a simple patch-up job. I do not just fix what was broken. My nature is to make things better, stronger, and more beautiful than they were before they were ever broken. The restored relationship will have a depth it never had before. The new financial foundation will be built on wisdom you did not possess in the past. Where you have known agonizing lack, I am commanding an abundance that will be so overwhelming, it will be a testimony to all who know you. This is not a reversal of fortune or a stroke of luck. This is the fulfillment of my covenant of abundance with you, my child. I am a just God, and tonight, my justice decrees this. I am preparing to give you double for your trouble. For every year of pain, a double portion of joy. For every dollar lost, a double return of blessing. Prepare your heart. Enlarge your capacity to receive, because my restoration is not a trickle. It is a flood. You have felt the old cords snap and have seen the new path I am revealing. My heart would grieve if you chose to remain standing at this crossroads, satisfied with only a glimpse of the restoration I have promised. Do not dishonor the work we have done by stopping halfway. Continue with me now, for I am about to rewrite your family's history. My child, as I release this flood of restoration upon you, your first act of faith is to prove the soil of your heart ready for the harvest. If your spirit yearns to see this word reach another soul who is crying out for their own tonight, then partner with me now. Every seed you sow from your coming abundance becomes a beacon of my light, carrying this urgent message to the lost and broken. I declare over you my promise: give, and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together and running over, I will pour into your lap. I will command the devourer to stand down from your finances and release a sevenfold return on your obedience. This is your prophetic appointment to become a river of my blessing, not a reservoir. Sow your seed of faith now through Super Thanks membership or the PayPal link below. My child, we must address the invisible chains you have been carrying, the spiritual inheritance that was passed down to you without your consent. You have felt it your whole life, haven't you? That recurring pattern of dysfunction, that familiar shadow of defeat that seems to follow your bloodline. You have seen it in your parents and your grandparents, and you have feared seeing it in yourself and your children. I am speaking of the spirit of anger that erupts without reason, the cycle of poverty that always seems to drag your family back down, the undercurrent of anxiety and depression that has been a quiet companion for generations, the pattern of broken marriages and relational chaos. You have fought against it, but it has felt like swimming against a powerful, unseen current. Tonight, that current stops. Tonight, I am stepping into your family history as the righteous judge. By the supreme power of the blood of my Son, Jesus, which was shed to break every curse, I am making a divine declaration in the courts of heaven. The spiritual debts of your ancestors are canceled. The negative inheritances passed down your bloodline are now declared null and void. Legal right the enemy has claimed over your family due to the sins of the past is revoked permanently. The curse is broken, and in its place, I am establishing a new blessing, a new inheritance of grace, favor, and freedom for you and for every generation that comes after you. You need to understand the significance of this moment. You, my child, are the turning point. You are the chain breaker. Through your faith in me, you are the one through whom the entire spiritual trajectory of your family is now being altered forever. You are a gateway of blessing. Feel it now, in your spirit. Feel the ancestral chains falling away. Feel the weight you did not even know you were carrying being lifted from your shoulders. Your spiritual DNA is being rewritten. From this night forward, your family will no longer be known for dysfunction. Your bloodline will no longer be defined by its struggles. From this day on, when heaven looks at your family name, it will see my blessing, my favor, my redemptive power. The legacy of bondage ends with you, and the legacy of blessing begins. My child, come closer. I want you to feel what I am doing right now. I am pouring out a fresh anointing upon your spirit. Imagine it, a stream of pure, golden oil flowing from my own hands, saturating the very core of your being. This is not just a metaphor. It is a spiritual reality, a holy transaction that is taking place as you surrender to my presence. I am anointing you for what is to come. Verse: this oil is for your weariness. I have seen you, so bone weary from the fight that you have felt you could not take another step. You have carried the weight of this battle in your body, in your mind, and in your spirit. But tonight, that human exhaustion is being replaced with my supernatural energy. Feel it now, a divine strength flowing into you, pushing out the fatigue, silencing the ache in your soul. This is a second wind from heaven, a deep and abiding vitality that will not run out, for its source is me. You will wake in the morning not just rested, but truly restored, infused with a vigor that is not your own. But this anointing is for more than just energy. It is for elevation. I am anointing you because I am taking you to a new level, a new territory of purpose and influence, and your old capacity is not sufficient for where we are going. This anointing is your equipment. It is your empowerment. It comes with two specific endowments. First, I am giving you wisdom beyond your years. You will face situations in the coming days where you will suddenly have insight, strategies, and solutions that you never learned in a book or a class. People will be amazed at your clarity, but you will know it is the oil of my Spirit giving you the mind of Christ. Second, I am anointing you with favor beyond your qualifications. Doors will open for you that your resume says should be closed. People will extend grace and opportunity to you for reasons they cannot even explain themselves. My favor upon you is a currency that overrides the systems of this world. It will place you in rooms you could not have entered on your own. This anointing is also reigniting your purpose. Where the fight has left you feeling discouraged or apathetic, I am pouring the oil of gladness, and with it, a renewed, burning passion for the calling I have placed on your life. The why behind your existence will become brilliantly clear once more. Now, you must receive it. This is not a passive event. It is a gift that must be actively accepted. Open your spiritual hands. Lift your heart to me and say, yes. Receive this fresh oil. Receive this supernatural energy. Receive this wisdom and this favor. Receive this holy passion. It is my gift to you for the glorious journey that begins tonight. Now, you and I must deal with a voice that has tormented you for far too long. There is a constant whisper in the back of your mind, a narrator of your failures, a reminder of your inadequacies. It knows your deepest fears and your most painful memories. It tells you, you're not good enough. You'll never change. Remember when you failed so badly. You are a fraud, and you will be exposed. That voice, my child, is not your own. It is the voice of the accuser, and his only goal is to paralyze you with shame and condemnation. Tonight, his reign of terror in your mind is over. I am rising up as your divine advocate, your defender. I am personally stepping between you and that voice, and I am rebuking him on your behalf. In the courts of heaven, where he has stood to accuse you day and night, I am slamming the gavel down. The case is dismissed. The accusations are thrown out. He has lost his legal right to harass you. Why? Because my son's blood speaks a better word. The accuser points to your sin, but the blood cries out, forgiven. He points to your weakness, but the blood cries out, made strong. He shows me your past, but I see only the blood that has washed you clean and made you righteous in my sight. His evidence is inadmissible. His voice is now illegal in the domain of your mind. The torment you have endured, that constant, grinding fear of judgment and the heavy weight of condemnation, is being lifted from your soul this very night. The fear that I am angry with you, that I am disappointed in you, that I am just waiting for you to fail again. These are his lies, and their power over you is being broken. In place of his venomous whispers, I am amplifying my voice in your life. I am turning up the volume of my love and acceptance until it drowns out every other sound. Listen. Do you hear what I am saying about you? I am calling you beloved. I am calling you chosen. I am calling you my masterpiece. I am calling you mine. This is your new reality. This is the only voice that you are to listen to. So walk in this truth. From this moment on, when the old accusations try to creep back in, you will not entertain them. You will stand in the authority of a forgiven and cherished child of the King, and you will tell that voice, "You have no authority here. I have been acquitted. My Father has spoken, and His is the only voice that matters." My child, I want you to cast your mind back. I want you to remember the words I have spoken over your life throughout the years. Remember that time, perhaps long ago, when a trusted friend or even a stranger spoke a word of encouragement over you that resonated so deeply in your spirit you knew it was from me. The one you wrote down and then tucked away, almost afraid to hope too much. Remember that verse in my word that seemed to leap off the page one day, a personal promise that ignited your heart with a vision for your future. Remember that deep, quiet knowing I placed in your own spirit during a time of prayer, a dream for your life that seemed too big, too grand to ever come to pass. You have been holding these separate threads of promise, wondering if and when they would ever materialize. My beloved, tonight is a moment of divine convergence. This is the night where those seemingly separate threads are being gathered together by my hand and woven into the beautiful tapestry I have designed. What you are about to experience is not the fulfillment of a single promise. It is the culmination of many. Multiple prophetic streams are flowing together tonight into one mighty river of breakthrough in your life. Now you will see how the seemingly unrelated events of your past were all part of my intricate plan. That painful season of waiting, it was developing the patience you would need to handle the blessing. That unexpected detour that felt like a step backward, it was me repositioning you to be in the right place at this exact time. The person who left your life, causing you deep pain, that was me removing something that would have hindered this very miracle. See, nothing has been wasted. I was working in all of it, connecting the dots, lining the pieces, preparing everything for this appointed moment. It is critical that you recognize this as it unfolds. Do not dismiss it as coincidence or a lucky break. This is a divinely orchestrated culmination, a supernatural alignment. When you see it, you must give me the glory. You must connect the miracle of tonight back to the promises of yesterday. This is your testimony of my faithfulness. For years, many of these promises have existed in seed form, planted in the soil of your heart, growing unseen in the dark. But the season of hidden growth is over. Tonight, what was spoken in seed form is ready for a sudden, glorious harvest. Look ahead with me. I want you to see the primary obstacle that has been standing in your path. It has seemed as immovable and intimidating as the great walls of Jericho. For you, perhaps it has been a wall of human opposition, a person in authority, a gatekeeper who has consistently blocked your progress and said no at every turn. Or perhaps it has been a wall of systemic resistance, a financial barrier, a lack of qualifications, a cultural prejudice that has made your journey incredibly difficult. It might even be a wall of spiritual blockade, a persistent demonic resistance that has fought you tooth and nail, creating an oppressive atmosphere around you. You have marched around this wall. You have prayed. You have pushed, and yet it has remained standing, mocking your efforts. My child, hear the word of your God. Tonight, those walls are coming down. By the authority of my name and the sheer weight of my glory, the opposition that has defined your struggle is being supernaturally dismantled. I am personally intervening. The heart of that human gatekeeper is being turned. The foundation of that systemic barrier is cracking. The spiritual forces that have resisted you are being scattered in confusion. The result of this divine demolition is that you are about to walk into territories that were previously inaccessible. Places of influence, rooms of opportunity, and fields of blessing that have been on the other side of that wall are now open to you. The resistance you have grown so accustomed to is crumbling. Now, I need you to change your perspective. When you look at that wall now, do not be intimidated by its height or its history. I am showing you a secret from the spiritual realm. Its foundation is already shattered. What you are seeing is a hollow facade, a defeated structure that is simply waiting for the final trumpet blast before it collapses into dust. The trumpet is the declaration of your faith, spoken in agreement with my word tonight. So, when the dust settles, you must be ready to move. This is my command to you. Advance with boldness. Way has been cleared. Do not hesitate. Do not look back. Take the territory I have given you. Walk confidently through the rubble of what once stood against you, for I have made a way where there was no way. The anointing I have just poured over you is for the territory ahead, not just for a fleeting feeling. The walls of your opposition have fallen, but you must now walk through the rubble. It saddens my spirit to see my child receive divine power, only to sit down in the dust of a past victory. Rise, you must claim what is yours. In the midst of all that I am doing, I know a part of your heart has felt utterly alone on this journey. You have felt that no one truly understands the unique path I have you on, the specific burdens you carry, the vision I have placed in your heart. You have longed for a true ally, a partner in the faith to run alongside. My beloved, I have heard that unspoken prayer, and tonight, I am releasing the answer. I am sending a key person into your life to assist you in this next chapter. This will not be a connection you have to strive for or orchestrate. It will be a divinely arranged encounter, so perfectly timed and so clearly orchestrated by my hand that it will be undeniable to both of you. You might meet them in the most unexpected way, but when your spirits connect, you will both know that I have set this up. This person is not a random friend. They are a strategic kingdom alliance. They carry a specific piece of the puzzle that you have been missing. You have the vision, but they may have the practical wisdom to help you build it. You have the passion, but they may have the key relationship that can open the right door. You have been looking at your situation from one angle, but they will bring a perspective that unlocks the entire strategy. They are not coming to do the work for you, but to work with you, a divine synergy where your combined strengths will accomplish far more than you could ever accomplish alone. However, I must give you a word of caution. As you receive this person, you must guard your heart against making them your savior. This person is a gift from me, but they are not me. They are a stream, but I am the source. If you place them on a pedestal and begin to rely on them more than you rely on me, the connection will become unhealthy and the purpose for it will be thwarted. This is a God-sent partner for a season and for a specific assignment. Cherish them, honor them, collaborate with them, but keep your worship and your ultimate dependence reserved for me alone. This divine helper is the answer to a prayer you did not even know how to pray. The deep cry of your soul for companionship and support has reached my throne. So be open, be discerning, and prepare to receive this precious gift, for I do not intend for you to walk into this new season alone. My child, we must now confront the suffocating spirit of lack that has hounded you for years. It is more than just an empty bank account. It is a mindset, a constant, nagging fear of not enough that has dictated your choices and stolen your peace. It is the voice that makes your stomach clench when an unexpected bill arrives. The anxiety that whispers you will never get ahead. You have lived under its oppressive weight, and it has choked your dreams. Hear me now. In the authority of my name, I declare that its power over you is broken. Tonight, I am banishing this spirit of lack from your life, from your home, and from your mind. In its place, I am doing something dramatic. I am opening the floodgates of heaven for your pavilion. Do not imagine a small trickle or a gentle stream. I am talking about a deluge, a torrential downpour of my resources into your life, so overwhelming that it will wash away every trace of the drought you have endured. You have been looking for help from the sources you know, but I am bringing it from realms you have never considered. You waited for resources from unexpected places. It will look like a check arriving in the mail that you did not anticipate. It will look like a debt you have carried for years being supernaturally canceled or forgiven. It will look like an idea for a business or a creative project dropping into your mind with such clarity that you know it is from me. An idea that will generate wealth. It will look like favor with banks, lenders, or employers that defies all logic. It will look like me prompting the heart of someone you barely know to bless you with a specific amount that perfectly meets a hidden need. This is how I work. I love to show my power in ways that leave no doubt that it was my hand. Furthermore, I am not just giving you a fish, I am teaching you to fish. I am releasing a divine creativity for generating wealth into your spirit. I am shifting you from a mindset of dependency to a mindset of stewardship and generation. But with this flood of provision comes a critical instruction. You are to be a conduit, not a reservoir. A reservoir collects and holds water for its own use, and eventually, it can become stagnant. A conduit is a channel through which water flows, bringing life and refreshment to everything it touches. I am blessing you so that you can be a blessing. As my provision flows to you, it must also flow through you. This abundance is not just for your comfort. It is fuel. It is the funding for the vision I have placed deep inside your heart. It is for the ministry I have called you to, for the business that will employ others, for the legacy of generosity you will leave for your children. Enlarge your vision. Stop thinking in terms of just enough to get by. Start thinking in terms of kingdom abundance. Prepare your accounts, but more importantly, prepare your heart to be the joyful and generous conduit I have created you to be. The rain is beginning to fall. My beloved, let us now go to the hidden places of your heart, the rooms you have kept locked, where you have stored the pains you believe no one else sees. You have become an expert at managing the exterior of your life, presenting a face of strength while inside, you are bleeding from wounds that have never properly healed. I see them all. And tonight, my gentle, healing hand is touching those exact places. I want you to bring the wound of betrayal before me now. You know the one. A person you trusted implicitly, a friend, a spouse, a family member, who shattered your trust and left a gaping wound of disbelief and pain. It has made it hard for you to trust anyone again, including me. Lay that wound open before me. Let me pour in the oil of my comfort and the wine of my cleansing. Now, bring me the wound of rejection, the sting of being overlooked, excluded, or told in words or actions that you were not wanted. This wound has been whispering a lie to you for years, that you are unworthy of love and belonging. It has shaped your identity and caused you to shrink back in fear. That is not who you are. Tonight, I am overriding that lie with the truth of your acceptance in me. You are chosen, cherished, and deeply wanted by the God of the universe. And let us not forget the deep, settled grief from the losses you have endured. The person you lost, the dream that died, the season of your life that is gone forever. You have carried this sorrow like a heavy stone in your chest, and it has colored your world with shades of gray. Tonight, I will not erase the memory, but I will lift the unbearable weight of the grief. I am performing a divine exchange. I am taking the sharp, stabbing agony of these wounds, and in its place, I am giving you my profound peace, a peace that surpasses all human understanding. It is the supernatural balm that will soothe the inflammation of your soul. As you receive this healing, I will give you the supernatural grace to forgive those who have hurt you. You will not do this for them, you will do it for you. Forgiveness is you finally pulling their dagger out of your own heart. The scars from these wounds will remain, but their function will change. They will no longer be sources of secret pain. They will become powerful testimonies of my healing power, giving you a unique authority and compassion to minister to others who are hurting in the same way. Your heart is being made whole tonight, not so you can lock it away in a fortress to keep it safe, but so it can be strong enough to love deeply and trust courageously once again. My child, I have uniquely gifted you from before you were formed in your mother's womb. I have woven into your very being a specific combination of spiritual gifts and natural talents that are meant to be your contribution to the world, your way of displaying my glory. But fear, discouragement, and the struggles of life have caused you to either neglect these gifts or operate in them at a fraction of their intended capacity. Tonight, that changes. I am bringing a divine amplifier to your life. Every gift I have placed within you is being magnified, amplified, and empowered for a new level of effectiveness. Let's be specific. Your spiritual gifts, that gift of encouragement you have, the one you use to speak a kind word, I'm amplifying it. Your words will now carry a prophetic weight, a divine anointing that literally shifts atmospheres and breaks chains of despair in people's lives. The gift of discernment, that quiet check in your spirit. I am sharpening it, making it a clear, reliable tool to distinguish truth from error and to guide your steps. Your natural talents, that skill for organizing and administration. I'm amplifying it. You will now create systems of order that bring peace and release others into their callings. Your talent for art, music, or writing, I am breathing on it. You will now create works that carry my presence, that heal hearts and open minds to my beauty and truth. What has been dormant is being awakened. The gifts you were too afraid to use, the ones you buried out of a sense of inadequacy, I am calling them forth from the grave right now. What had been small is being multiplied. The areas where you have been faithfully serving with little fruit, prepare for a season of multiplied impact. Your efforts will now produce results far beyond your own ability. And what has been active will now become supremely effective. You will operate in your giftings with a new and palpable authority. When you speak, people will listen differently. When you create, it will carry a new depth. When you serve, the impact will be tangibly greater. You must understand the purpose of this magnification. This is not for your ego or to build your own platform. This is for the building of my kingdom and for the display of my splendor on the earth. Therefore, do not shy away from this increased capacity. Do not shrink back with a false humility. I have called you to this. I have equipped you for this. Step into it. Steward this amplification well. You are about to astound yourself and everyone around you with what I, your God, can do through a life that is fully surrendered to me. My beloved, we must now enter the courtroom of heaven to deal with the false verdicts and unjust judgments that have been spoken over you. Words have power, and the negative words of others can act as spiritual cages, limiting your belief in what is possible. You have been living under the weight of these verdicts, and some of them you have even started to believe are true. I am speaking of the unjust judgment from a parent or a teacher who, in a moment of anger or ignorance, labeled you. They called you lazy, or irresponsible, or never going to amount to anything. That label has stuck to your soul like tar. I am speaking of the negative verdict from an ex-partner or a former friend who, to justify their own actions, painted you as the villain, calling you too difficult, or unlovable, or the problem. You have carried that false accusation in secret. I am talking about the internal judgment you have placed upon yourself based on your past mistakes. a verdict of permanently disqualified or damaged goods. Tonight, as the righteous judge of all the universe, I am taking my seat. I am calling your case, and I am striking the gavel with resounding finality. Every unjust judgment, every negative verdict, every unfair label that has ever been spoken over you or by you is hereby overturned, reversed, and erased from your spiritual record. I am ruling in your favor. My judgment overrides all others. Where men rejected you, I have divinely selected you. You must see their rejection for what it was, my divine protection. Their no was necessary to keep you available for the greater why yes I had for you. Their inability to see your value did not decrease it. It simply proved they were not qualified to be a part of your destiny. Tonight, I am vindicating your name and your character. I am restoring your honor. In the eyes of those who matter, in the spiritual realm, your reputation is being cleansed and reestablished based not on your performance, but on your position as my child. The enemy's case against you, built on a foundation of lies and half-truths, has completely collapsed. So let me tell you my final, binding verdict, the only one that matters from this day forward. The judgment I speak over you is this: beloved and called. You are profoundly beloved, not because of what you do, but because you are mine, and you are powerfully called to a glorious purpose. This is my truth over you. Let all other voices fall silent. The court is adjourned. I have just ruled in your favor in my courts, and am leaning in to heal the wounds you have hidden from everyone. Can you not feel the tenderness of this moment? To treat these intimate gifts as common things and turn away now would wound my Father's heart. Stay, let me finish making you whole. Now that my verdict has vindicated you and your name has been restored, your first act in this new identity is to release this same hope to another soul living under condemnation. If your heart burns to see my light shatter the unjust judgment spoken over them, then answer my call to be my vessel. Your gift becomes the oil of gladness for the morning and a fire of truth that pushes back the darkness in their life. I speak this promise over you now. The one who is generous will be blessed, and my grace will abound to you in all things. As you give, I will open the storehouses of heaven over your life, and your own accusers will be silenced by the weight of my favor upon you. The courts of heaven are watching your response. Release your offering of praise now through Super Thanks membership, with a PayPal link in the description. My child, after this night of divine intervention, the morning will come, and when the first light of dawn filters through your window, you must understand that you are not waking up to the same life you left behind when you went to sleep. You will be walking in a new reality. The long, dark night of struggle is over. The wrestling, the tears, the desperate waiting, they have served their purpose. And just as I promised, joy has come with the morning. But with this new reality comes a new responsibility. You must be intentional about how you walk in it. The greatest danger after a breakthrough is the temptation to revert to your old ways of thinking. The season of struggle is over. Do not try to go back to it. The mindset of survival that served you in the wilderness will be a liability in the promised land. I am commanding you, do not put the new wine of this victory into the old wineskins of your former anxieties. That season is over. You must now learn to navigate this new landscape of blessing and favor. It will feel unfamiliar at first. Living without the constant weight of that old problem will feel strange. Walking in abundance after a lifetime of lack requires a new posture. You must learn to think like a victor, not a victim. Your entire perspective is being elevated tonight. You will no longer see your life from the bottom of the trench, looking up at your problems. I am placing you on the high ground of victory, from where you can look down on your challenges from a position of authority in me. Problems that once seemed like mountains will now look like the small bumps in the road that they truly are. Your confidence will no longer be rooted in your fluctuating circumstances, but in the unshakable reality of my sovereignty and love for you. This is more than a change of mood. It is a change of identity. You are no longer defined by your fight. You are defined by my victory. So when you rise in the morning, I want you to take a deep breath and know this. This is not just another day. This is the first day of the rest of your prophecy life. The future that was once a distant promise has now become your present reality. The waiting is over. The time for walking in that reality has begun. Step into this new dawn with the quiet confidence of one who knows that everything has changed forever. My child, as you begin to walk in the reality of what I have done for you tonight, you must understand a critical truth. This miracle, as intensely personal as it is, was never intended to terminate with you. My blessings are like a river, and a river is only healthy when it is flowing. I have poured this breakthrough into your life so that it may flow through your life to others. Your story, the testimony of this night, is now one of the most powerful weapons I am placing in your hands. It is not merely a nice story to share. It is a spiritual force. You will use it to dismantle the enemy's lies in the lives of the people you encounter. Think of the people around you who are trapped in the very same prisons you have just been freed from. They are bound by the lie that says, God doesn't care about my finances. Your testimony of my provision will shatter that lie. They are suffocated by the lie that says, my family is too broken to ever be healed. Your story of my restoration will be the key that unlocks their hope. They are paralyzed by the lie that says, I have failed too many times to be used by God. Your testimony of my grace will silence that accusation in their hearts. When you share what I have done, you are releasing tangible hope and faith into the atmosphere. You will see a change in the people you talk to. You will have a credible, undeniable answer for the profound hope that is now radiating from you. Your life itself will be a question on their minds, and your story will be the answer that points directly to me. Therefore, I am giving you a command. Do not hide what I have done. The temptation will be to keep it private, to guard it out of a false sense of humility or a fear of what others might think. You must resist this. You are to share it with boldness and with humility. Share with boldness, knowing that it is not your power, but mine that you are testifying to. Share with humility, knowing that you did not earn this, but received it as a free gift of my grace, and giving me all the glory. Your breakthrough is destined to be a key that unlocks breakthroughs for countless others. Every time you tell your story, you are handing that key to another prisoner. You are showing them the door out of their own despair. Remember, the principle of my kingdom is clear. You overcome the accuser by the blood of the Lamb, which is the source of all victory, and by the word of your testimony, which is how you enforce and activate that victory on the earth. Your story is now your sword. Go and use it to set the captives free. Listen to me, my child, for there has been a fundamental shift in your spiritual stature tonight. You are not the same person you were just hours ago. You will now carry a new weight in the Spirit, a new spiritual authority that you must learn to walk in. This is not about arrogance or pride. It is about understanding the new position I have placed you in. This new authority will manifest in practical ways. Your prayers, which have often felt like hopeful requests sent up to a distant heaven, will now carry the weight of royal decrees. You will pray with a new power and a tangible sense of your ability to shift things in the spiritual realm. Your words, even in casual conversation, will carry a new conviction. People will feel the weight of your speech, and your simple words of encouragement will release life and faith in ways that will surprise you. Most profoundly, there has been a complete reversal in the power dynamics between you and the demonic forces that have opposed you. The spirits of fear, anxiety, and intimidation that once harassed you and whispered lies in your ear will now recognize the new mantle you carry. The authority I have clothed you with is terrifying to them. Where you once felt pursued and tormented, you will now find that they will flee from you when you stand your ground. You have moved from a defensive posture to an offensive one. You must understand where this authority comes from, so you can steward it properly. It is not something you have earned through your own righteousness or discipline. It is an endowment, a gift given to you based entirely on your identity as a member of a royal priesthood. You are royal, meaning you carry the authority of the king and are a legitimate representative of his government. You are a priest, meaning you have been granted direct, unimpeded access to my presence. This identity is the source of your authority. Therefore, its purpose is not for your personal gain or to control others. I am giving you this authority to use for my purposes. Use it to bless your family and speak life over their future. Use it to pray with power for your city and your community. Use it to advance my kingdom by pushing back the darkness and releasing my light wherever you go. Remember always, this authority is not rooted in your ability. It is not about how eloquent you are or how strong you feel. It is rooted entirely in your identity in me and your willingness to be a clean vessel. Walk humbly, but walk with the full knowledge of the power I have entrusted to you. You are no longer a spiritual pawn. You are a strategic player in my kingdom. My precious child, when this miracle is complete, when the provision is in your hand and the healing is manifest in your body and the peace is settled in your home, you must be vigilant against a subtle and dangerous enemy, forgetting. In the joy of the blessing, the human heart has a tendency to forget the source of the blessing. Forgetting leads to pride, and pride is the foothold the enemy uses to steal what has been given. Therefore, I am giving you a crucial instruction for the days ahead. You must establish a new, intentional habit of thanksgiving in your life. This must become a non-negotiable spiritual discipline. It is the very thing that will protect the work I have done tonight and prepare the ground for future miracles. I want you to create a physical memorial of this moment. Do not trust your memory alone. Take a journal, and before this night is over, write down everything that I have spoken to you. Write down the state you were in before, and the promises I have made. Dated. This written record will be your anchor. In the future, when a new storm rises and doubt begins to creep in, you will pull out this journal and read the record of my faithfulness. It will silence your fears and ignite your faith once more. I also want you to mark this date on your calendar. Every year, on this anniversary, you will take time to pause. You will recount the story to yourself, to your family, and you will offer a special prayer of thanksgiving. This act of remembrance will build a fortress of faith in your life and in the lives of your children. It will protect you from pride when you are prospering, by constantly reminding you where your success truly comes from. And it will protect you from despairing future trials, by serving as undeniable proof that the God who did it once can and will do it again. You must understand, gratitude is not a passive emotion. It is a powerful spiritual force. A thankful heart is a receptive heart. Gratitude is the fertile ground where the seeds of new miracles can grow. A complaining spirit, on the other hand, is a barren desert where my blessings cannot take root. Choose your ground wisely. From this day forward, let thanksgiving be the first words on your lips in the morning and the last in the evening. Never, ever forget the night that I, your God, turned everything around for you. This memory is your sacred inheritance. Guard it well. My child, the incredible work I am doing in your life tonight has a purpose, that extends far beyond just solving your current problems. This breakthrough was not the finish line. It was the starting block. It was designed to do something profound within you, to fundamentally expand your vision of who I am and, therefore, what is possible for your life. For too long, you have been limiting what you ask me for based on the size of your past experiences. Your prayers have been shaped by your history of lack and disappointment. You have been asking me for just enough to get by, for a minor repair when I want to give you a complete renovation. You have been praying safe, manageable prayers that do not require much faith, because you have been afraid of being disappointed again. You have placed a small, man-made ceiling on your faith, and tonight, I am shattering that ceiling into 1,000,000 pieces. Hear this as a holy command from your King. I am giving you a divine mandate to dream bigger than you have ever dared to dream before. This is no longer a suggestion. It is a requirement for this new season you are entering. Your old dreams are now too small for the person you are becoming. I have enlarged your spiritual capacity tonight. Your heart can now hold more joy. Your spirit can now carry more authority. Your faith can now reach farther than ever before. Therefore, you must enlarge your request to match the new capacity I have given you. Stop asking me for the rent money and start asking me for the resources to buy the building. Stop asking me to just heal your family and start asking me to use your family to bring healing to your entire community. Ask me for things that are utterly impossible without my direct intervention. Ask me for nations. Ask for generational curses to be broken in your city. Ask me for industries to be shifted for my glory. When you pray bold, audacious, impossible prayers, you honor me. You show that you understand who I am. I am not a God of just enough. I am the God who is able to do exceedingly, abundantly, above all that you can ask or even think. Let this miracle I have performed tonight serve as the launching pad, not the comfortable landing strip. Let it be the undeniable proof that fuels a lifetime of limitless faith. The old you has passed away. The new you is a world changer, a history maker, in partnership with me. And now, start praying like it. I have given you the testimony, the authority, and the divine mandate to dream bigger. Everything that follows is the blueprint for how you will live in this new reality. To leave now would be to abandon the life you have just received. My entire heart is invested in this. Do not grieve me by shrinking back. Let me give you the final seal for your journey. In the coming days, as you walk in this new reality, after the initial euphoria of the breakthrough begins to settle, the enemy will attempt one last, subtle counterattack. He knows he cannot reverse the miracle, so he will try to steal your enjoyment of it. His attack will not be a frontal assault, but will come as quiet whispers of confusion, doubt, and anxiety. He will whisper, "Are you sure this is real? What if you lose it? How will you ever maintain this level of blessing?" The other shoe is about to drop. His goal is to pull you out of the place of rest and back into the old cycle of striving and fear. Therefore, as the final seal upon the work of this night, I am giving you a powerful gift, my peace. And you must understand what this peace is. It is not the fleeting feeling of calm that this world offers, which is dependent on circumstances being perfect. My peace is a supernatural garrison. It is like a legion of heavily armed angelic soldiers standing guard, shoulder to shoulder, round your heart and your mind. Their job is to repel every fiery dart of anxiety, to deny entry to every thought of fear, and to maintain a perimeter of divine tranquility around your soul. My peace is not the absence of trouble on the outside. It is the overwhelming presence of my sovereignty on the inside. It is the deep, settled, unshakable calm that comes from knowing, without a shadow of a doubt, that I am in complete and utter control. This peace is your inheritance, but you must choose to live within its walls. Here is your instruction for how to do that. Rest in the finished work. The battle for this breakthrough is over. I have fought it, and I have won it. You did not achieve it by your anxious striving, and you will not maintain it by your anxious striving. Your job now is to cease from your own works and to enter into my rest. Do not strive to protect the blessing. Simply abide in me, the one who gave the blessing. As you make your home in my presence, the blessing will be sustained as a natural result. Contrast these two postures. Striving is fearful, anxious, and exhausting. Abiding is trustful, peaceful, and empowering. Choose to abide. When the anxious thoughts come, do not fight them. Simply turn your attention back to me and enter into the fortress of my peace. Let my peace be the final, authoritative seal upon this miracle. It is the sign that the work is complete, that it is secure, and that it is yours to enjoy forever. My beloved child, we have walked through so much tonight. We have spoken of power, of breakthrough, of restoration, authority, and blessing. But now, as we come to the heart of it all, you must understand the single, foundational truth upon which everything else is built. You must know the great why behind this entire event. The reason for this miracle, from the first whisper in your spirit to the final, tangible manifestation, is born from one source and one source alone, my unending, passionate, and deeply personal love for you. This was not a transaction. This was not a reward for your perfect behavior or a payment for your service. If you view this as something you have earned, you will live in constant fear of losing it when you inevitably make a mistake. You must see this for what it truly is, an extravagant expression of a father's adoration for his child. It is a free, unmerited gift, given to you simply because you are mine, and it brings me immense joy to bless you. I need you to let this truth sink deeper than any other. You are not loved because of what you do or what you accomplish. You are loved because of who you are. You are my creation, my child, redeemed and cherished. Your worth is not in your performance. It is in your identity. This is the truth that will set you free from the exhausting treadmill of trying to earn my affection. My affection is already yours, completely and without condition. And this truth must become the new foundation for your life. From this day forward, I command you to build everything upon the unshakable bedrock of my unconditional love. A life built on your own ability will always be shaky. A life built on the opinions of others will be unstable. But a life built on my steadfast love is a fortress that can never be moved. This love is the eternal guarantee that backs every single promise I have made to you. It is the divine signature that ensures that the work done tonight will endure. When future storms come, when you feel weak, when you stumble, it is this love that will hold you. For I have declared it, and it is an eternal truth. Absolutely nothing can ever separate you from my love. Not death nor life, not angels nor demons, not your fears for today nor your worries about tomorrow, not your successes and not your failures. Nothing. It is the one constant in a universe of variables. So receive the miracle, walk in the authority, but above all, rest in my love. It is the greatest gift of all. My child, our time of intense instruction for this night is now complete. A new day is about to dawn. The season of desperate waiting is over. The time for confident walking has begun. The instructions have been given. The chains have been broken. The anointing has been poured out. The authority has been bestowed. The provision has been released. The healing has begun. The promises have been sealed. The power has been made available. Now, it is time for you to move. Step into the first light of this new morning, not with a hesitant, fearful posture of your past, but with the quiet confidence and profound assurance of one who knows that their entire reality had been forever shifted by the hand of a loving God. You are not hoping for a change, you are walking in one. This is your moment of divine appointment and fulfillment. The time on heaven's calendar for this breakthrough has arrived. It has now been fully realized. This was not a random event. It was a destiny moment, planned for you before the foundations of the world. And now I give you my ultimate, personal guarantee. My own character is the collateral. I have spoken it, and I myself will bring it to pass. The burden of fulfillment does not rest on your shoulders, it rests on mine. Your part was to believe and receive. My part is to perform what I have promised. And I never fail. So there is only one thing left to say. My final command to you as you step into this new day, this new life, is this: fear not, my child, for I am with you. And my final, universe-altering, battle-ending, peace-releasing declaration over you and your situation is this: it is done. My child, because the declaration "it is done" has sealed your victory, the work through you must now begin. This is your first step of obedience on the new path I have set before you. If your spirit agrees that this word must be the manna for another soul who is starving for hope, then become my provision for them. I give you this command and this promise: honor me with the first fruits of your coming increase, and I will cause your own barns to be filled to overflowing. Your seed ensures this river of my presence does not stop with you but floods the driest places on earth. I will place a seal of protection around your finances as you honor me. Before this night gives way to dawn, present your first fruit offering now through Super Thanks membership or the PayPal link below. My child, if you have heard my voice and received this promise into your spirit, do not let this sacred moment pass into silence. Your faith requires an action now. Go to the space below where the testimonies are gathered and make your declaration known before all of heaven and earth. With the authority I have placed on you tonight, write these 5 words to seal your miracle. My breakthrough begins tonight. This is not a simple comment. It is your first act of war in this new season, a prophetic anchor for your soul. Let your amen be seen. Amen. If you believe in me, your Heavenly Father, then like this video and leave a heartfelt amen in the comments. If you want to stay closer to me, then subscribe to this channel.